Hi, I'm Shauna McQuaid. Be sure to watch Our Town Everett Thursday, May 14th at 8 on WPSU.
Good evening. It is Everett night here on your local PBS station, WPSU. Hi, I'm Whitney Sheridan along with my co-producer, Carly Griner, and we are so excited to bring you the live broadcast premiere of Our Town Everett. These are stories from your friends and neighbors in your hometown. In fact, it's the video that they shot themselves. They came in and sat down to tell the stories themselves on camera, and we're going to see it all come to life tonight on Our Town Everett, so stay tuned.
In fact, the volunteers of the Everett community are joined here in our studio. Round of applause for our volunteers.
And we are so excited to have them join us. Be sure to let everyone you know to tune in tonight. Tell them to watch WPSU. Give them a call. Let them know tonight's show is on. They can also watch online at WPSU.org anywhere in the world. But stay tuned right now. Our Town Everett is coming up, the live premiere.
Hi, my name's Carl Michael. I'm president of Everett Borough Council. Welcome to our town.
Welcome to Everett, Pennsylvania. Located in Bedford County, Everett is nestled in a gap of the Allegheny Mountains along the Juniata River. Everett is home to a community that celebrates its rich heritage and is proud of its bright future. Join us as local residents show and tell everything that makes their community a great hometown. Your friends and neighbors welcome you to Our Town Everett. Support for Our Town Everett comes from Everett Cash Mutual Insurance Company, a committed insurance company serving the agricultural community for over 100 years. Homewood at Springhouse Estates in Everett, a retirement community for active adults, offering cottage or apartment living, an indoor saltwater pool and spa, chef-prepared meals, and an experienced staff committed to providing a maintenance-free lifestyle. BC Stone Incorporated, custom fabrication of marble and granite for residential and commercial customers. bcstone.com. And from viewers like you, thank you.
I'm John Neville. I'm the past president of the Bloody Run Historical Society. The Bloody Run Historical Society, essentially our purpose here since 1997 when we were set up, was to preserve everything that you see right here. What you see here represents the last vestiges of the Huntington and Broadtop Mountain Railroad. It was chartered in 1852 and ran until 1954. And the main purpose of it was to bring coal and timber from the Broadtop region south to market. Everett was essentially a very industrial place. There were several factories here. Everett became a terminus to move things to market. These buildings go back to the original railroad and were actually located just south of here and were moved in 1997. Bob Ridenauer was the real spark plug behind that. The lower building is actually the passenger depot. The passenger station is split into literally two rooms, one for men and one for women. The upper building is actually the freight depot and was a maintenance shed, if you will. They would bring the train, the locomotive, right into the building here. The tracks ran right into this building and where they were serviced. The caboose was original to this line here. It was in shambles, open to the weather for years. We just got that finished here in the last couple of months. That caboose probably didn't look that good when it came out of the factory. Like any organization, we have a nucleus of very active members that are up here on a regular basis and become caretakers for everything we have here.
All right, go ahead.
Kenton Four, his family is a local family. Kenton has always been interested in history and in railroading. He's very active and very helpful. He comes up here every Saturday, and we made him a lifetime member. We certainly do regard everything here as a treasure for the Everett community. This is the heritage of Everett. preserved here, and it's our purpose to preserve these for the community. I'm originally from the Washington area, moved up here for the peace and quiet and the beauty, and we adopted Everett as our hometown. Just love the area, love the people. The people here are excellent. I mean, they're solid gold.
My name is Mike Teeter. I'm the president of the Everett Rec Board, and I'm here today to talk about Tenley Park. In 1999, Glenn Tenley and Margaret Tenley donated the park to the Everett Borough. After that, the Everett Rec Board was formed to oversee recreational opportunities within the park. Our main objective is to get people outside and into nature through events and into the park for different types of recreational activity. There are currently 2 pavilions in the park, one large, one small, both with electricity, and they're both available for rent. So you can have weddings, you can have school events, you can have your lunch up there, you can rent it for family reunions. It's a great green spot to go and have a nice day with your family. We have 3 trail systems, the Tenley Path, the Bloody Run Trail, and the Warrior Trail. Each of them are probably roughly a mile long, and they're all loop trails. They can all be looped together, so great for families who don't want to do a long distance trail back and out. This is actually a nice way to form your own loop, and they all crisscross across each other. And we have brand new big wooden posts that show all the different trails and the names of the trails. The Midstate Trail system, which goes from the New York border to the Maryland border, goes directly through the center of Tenley Park. Within the last 5 years, the Great Eastern Trail has taken over the Midstate Trail. This is going to be one of America's longest long-distance hiking trails, so it's going to span much of the East Coast. It's a great way to bring recreation into the community, and having it pass through Tenley Park is such a plus for us. We have a couple events that we do every year. Paws in the Park is a dog event that takes place in the park with agility courses, things like that. We also have the Great American Backyard Campout. This is a national event that is sponsored by the National Wildlife Federation. Early this year is the possibility that we will start construction on an amphitheater in the park. And what this is going to do is going to bring the arts into the park. So we're going to have movie nights, we'll be able to have bands, we'll be able to have all different types of seminars, anything that anybody wants to use the amphitheater for, it's there for the community's use. For me, recreational outdoors is extremely important, and I see the potential that Everett has as a recreation town. We have the Juniata River, we have a long-distance hiking trail, and we have a large bike trail that comes not too far out of town that maybe one day will connect to Tenley Park. In the future, we look to have maybe some stroller-friendly trail systems, obviously the amphitheater that's going to bring a lot into the park. Anything that we can stand shoulder to shoulder with recreation, we are extremely excited about.
Hi, my name is Danny Webb. I'm the superintendent for the Everett Area School District, and I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about our facilities, our area, the region that we serve, and the student population that we serve. The Everett Area School District is actually a very large rural district. It's comprised of approximately 300 square miles. Our population in Everett is approximately 10,000 people, and the school district serves between 1,300 and 1,400 students in K-12. Right now we have 3 buildings. We have one satellite elementary school that is located in Breezewood. Then in the town of Everett we have Everett Elementary, which is our primary elementary school. Our most recent change in the Everett area is the middle school, high school, which is newly renovated and just opened in the spring of 2013. And that building houses approximately 800 students in grades 6 through 12. We've done a lot in the district to bring technology up to state of the art. But what we've done is put enough technology at each grade level so that our teachers and students have access to technology just about any time they would need it. One of the things that's unique about Everett is the community is very involved, it's very connected, and I think that's one of the reasons that the Everett School District has been so successful. Our parents, at the elementary actually just received an award from a state audit for our parent connections and parent communications with the school district. And I think that says a lot for the community. That's not just a school effort, that's the parents wanting to be involved. Our students are outstanding. If you come into our buildings, our kids are going to hold doors for you. They're going to say thank you. They're a very polite bunch of people. I started here in Everett as a superintendent in the spring of 2013. I lived just between Everett and Bedford, so I'd previously worked in the Bedford School District. I knew that Everett had a great teaching staff, and I knew that there was a lot of opportunity to have a great school system. I felt welcome from the very beginning, from day one. The students have been fantastic, and that's reward enough. There's a lot of pride in Everett. It really is a great place to work.
I'm Betty Slayton, president of the Bedford County Development Association, and I'm here to talk about how wonderful Everett is and the Everett Business Park. The Everett Business Park is about 2 miles north of Everett. It's a common area with common road, public water, public sewer, adequate electricity available. The Bedford County Development Association, in conjunction with the Everett community leaders, are eagerly and actively marketing the park to recruit new employers. We're about creating and retaining jobs. Every economic developer says we have the best workforce, anywhere. We are very fortunate that in the Everett area we have the businesses that back up that testimonial. BC Stone and Everett Door have artisans, they have old world craftspeople who work on their products, and yet these people also have technology skills, so they're able to produce a high quality product in an efficient, productive manner. Lampire Biological supplies international pharmaceutical companies. They are so committed to our workforce and our community and Everett and the region that they worked with our local technical center to develop a whole curriculum around ag biotech. So I can say we have a great workforce, but I encourage people to talk to our employers and they'll really hear wonderful things. The business park is very much a part of the community. They support local nonprofits, Little League, the Community Foundation for the Educational System. They are enmeshed in the community. They bring their suppliers, bring their customers to stay at the Union Hotel, to eat downtown, to stimulate the economy. Community and economic development do go hand in hand, and we understand that as goes a community, so goes our efforts. So we are very, very supportive of Everett, which is, charming, and the people are so nice, and it's wonderful to work with the elected officials, the business people, the community leaders. They all care, and they all want to do the right thing. It's easy to sell Everett because it's a wonderful community.
My name is Jeremy Weber, and I'm going to talk about the Union Hotel in downtown Everett. The Union Hotel has been the centerpiece of Everett really since the early 1800s. So the building has always been a tavern, but over time has been a lot of additional things, including a post office, barbershop, retail store. So we operate the Union Hotel as a restaurant, and it still is a tavern as it's been since 1802. In 2009, it was remodeled back to a hotel. So we did a full renovation. There are 12 rooms that are fully modernized. We have jetted bathtubs, we have waterfall shower heads, and all the accommodations you would expect at a modern hotel, but it still feels like a period correct hotel. The materials we used are a lot of marble and granite and hardwoods. So when you walk into the building, the lobby's almost like a time machine. So you walk through and all of a sudden you're back in, the 1800s. We have several dining rooms. The main dining room is a casual upscale dining room. It holds about 80 people. Then we have a very upscale dining room with a lot of crystals hanging from the chandeliers, and we have a tavern which is very casual. Depending on what kind of atmosphere you're looking for, the Union Hotel has different atmospheres for the dining experience. We try to be a fun place. The building's very old, the building's very big, and a place like that can feel stuffy, and we try to be the opposite of that. People are excited that the hotel has become a centerpiece of the town again. When we reopened in 2009, Everett basically welcomed us with open arms. Because of our location and because of what we've meant to the community for the last 200 years, the community is looking for us to be involved with the community. So whenever the Christmas tree's lit downtown, we provide food and hot chocolate and things like that. And in every season and every holiday, the Union Hotel tries to be involved with the community and downtown. I've really enjoyed living in the Everett community for basically my whole life. I went away for college, had the option of, staying in that town or coming back, and I came back because I wanted to be back with friends and family. And I really wanted to be a part of the Bedford County growth and the Everett community growth specifically, and have a hand in that.
I'm Karen Brantner, and I'm here to talk about the Lincoln Highway and our Lincoln Highway Heritage Corridor. The Lincoln Highway Heritage Corridor runs for 6 counties through Adams, Franklin, Fulton, Bedford, Somerset, and Westmoreland counties. And of course, our town Everett is in Bedford County. Way before there was the Lincoln Highway, there were Indian trails. There was the Forbes Road. There were pikes and turnpikes between Chambersburg and Everett and Bedford. And the Lincoln Highway was developed by 2 men named Mr. Fisher and Mr. Joy, who essentially were in the automobile business, and they said, hey, we need a coast-to-coast highway so we can sell more tires and more automobiles. It runs from New York to San Francisco, and that was before the interstates and the other turnpikes and such. And it just so happened that, Everett's smack dab in the Lincoln Highway and vice versa. The Lincoln Highway Heritage Corridor is one of 12 in the state. Our main mission is economic development through tourism. We try to conserve and preserve and interpret historical things, as well as create new things along the Lincoln Highway for people in the communities to see, as well as travelers. We have in our 200-mile roadside museum interpretive sites, murals, interpretive replica gas pumps that various artists have done. And also one of the things that we're proud and glad that we have is a concrete marker. In 1928, the Boy Scouts put concrete markers along the Lincoln Highway about every mile. And from what I recall now, in PA, I think there are only about 17, and Bedford County has 2, one's in Everett. The Lincoln Highway does go right through Everett and brings people through, and they stay and shop and eat and get gas and enjoy our small community that we get to enjoy all the time. I'm originally from Dallas, Texas, and I moved here in 1983, and I've been with Travelers Rest, my home and my business, since then. I naturally got involved in the Lincoln Highway and the Lincoln Highway Heritage Corridor because what you do is when you live in a community, you get involved. And that's what all this is about, all the people who have come to do this program for you, people who care about our town of Everett.
There's more to come as we explore the Midstate Trail, take our clubs to the Downriver Country Club, and meet some of Everett's more unique neighbors. But first, show your support for Everett and WPSU by making a pledge. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Whitney Sheridan. We hope you're enjoying the world broadcast premiere of Our Town Everett. This is the 81st episode in the Our Town series, and we're so pleased to have you joining us. Now, if you have some friends and neighbors who you suppose might not be watching, be sure to give them a call and let them know that it's Everett night here on your local PBS station, WPSU. Tell them to turn on WPSU, or if you have some out-of-town family or friends, tell them to log on on to WPSU.org because they're streaming this show right now and they can watch that way. But right now, we're looking for your support, your contributions to help make programs like this possible at 1-800-245-9779. Now, if you've been watching, you know that the stories that you've been watching, the faces that you've been seeing, they're your friends and neighbors from Everett, Pennsylvania. They went out and shot the video that we've been watching. Then they came back and sat down and told all the stories that we've been enjoying tonight. And it wasn't a small feat to make all of this come together. It's a partnership between WPSU and the whole entire town of Everett, Pennsylvania. And now we're asking you to do your part, to become a partner yourself by calling 1-800-245-9779. And when you do, we have a great way to say thank you. We want to send you home with a copy of Our Town Everett on DVD as our way of saying thanks when you make a contribution of $75. Make a contribution of $120 and we'll send you 2 DVDs. But you have to call tonight during the Our Town Everett night at 1-800-245-9779. And I want to let you know that every single person who calls in, we are going to thank you because we want to recognize that you're a part of Our Town Everett. Right, Pat?
Absolutely. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Patrick Smith. It is a pleasure, really a privilege to be here this evening for Our Towns. I don't often get the opportunity to work with this particular production, and I love this show. I think the Our Town series is one of the best, one of the most important things we do here as a public broadcasting station. It is a great way to tell the stories of Central Pennsylvania. Part of our mission is to be the local voice for the audience of Central Pennsylvania. And tonight, well, actually, we're not so much the voice as we're the conduit. We're the carriers of the message because the folks of Everett have come together and made this show possible. Now, it sounds like we've got 2 phones busy right now behind me. That's great, but we need to get all 9 phones lit up. We need to have a raucous response here from the people of Everett. I am told you are capable of raucous response, and so we're looking for, what are you laughing at? Everybody over there, oh, yeah. Okay. Right now, we need to get started. So we got a lot of things to do tonight. First of all, we need you to go to the phone. We want you to call 1-800-245-9779 or go online to WPSU.org and make your gift in support of this station and, more importantly, in support of this show. As Whitney said, make a gift of $75. We will thank you with 1 copy of the DVD of tonight's production. If you can make a gift of $120, we will thank you with 2 DVDs. If you just want to call, make a gift, you show your support, any amount is fine, any amount is great, but tonight is your night to show your love for your hometown and, frankly, to help support the public television station that takes great pride in serving Everett every day. The other thing we need you to do then, as soon as you're done on the phone with us or as soon as you're done on the web with us, call your out-of-town friends, call your out-of-town relatives, call those folks that you know that you grew up with maybe in Everett or that were friends when you came to Everett and maybe they're not there anymore. Tell them to get online and see this show at WPSU.org. And the last thing we're going to do tonight is we're going to thank a lot of people, and I'm going to start right now because we had somebody who was kind enough, they knew they weren't going to be able to see the broadcast tonight, so they made their gift in advance, and that is Randall and Rebecca Clark of Everett, Pennsylvania. Thank you so much for making your gift of support. Absolutely. Thank you so much for making your gift of support over a week ago to make sure that these things got off to a fast and furious start. We want to hear from you next. 1-800-245-9779, online at WPSU.org. Kevin, over to you.
Absolutely, Pat. We are all about Everett tonight. We are celebrating the town of Everett, one of the many Central Pennsylvania communities that your local public television station, WPSU, serves. You know, I'm told the population of Everett is just a little bit more than 1,800. So we want to get a majority of those names on the air tonight. So we challenge you to call in. Give us a call at 1-800-245-9779. We do have 4 lines open right now. If you happen to get a busy signal, if you just wait about 30 seconds and then give us another call, we'll be there ready to take your call, your friends and neighbors from Everett tonight, taking your phone calls. And you know, one of the things I think that is so wonderful about this series is it celebrates the wonderful stories that are from across Central PA. Stories about the wonderful history of the communities, the wonderful school spirit, Everett. And you know, from my own perspective, you get to visit wonderful places and towns. You know, when we visited Everett recently, we spent a little time at the Union Hotel that you heard about in the last break, and it was just like stepping into history. The beautiful marble, what an amazing place, and I'm so happy that you folks in Everett have this wonderful thing to call your own and to be so proud of. You know, a lot of my friends are taking staycations this year, and that's what I think is so great about this series, is that it gives you the ability to learn about all the great things that Pennsylvania has to offer. You don't really need a vacation to a neighboring town. You can take one right here at your next door and go to Everett and enjoy. So 1-800-245-9779 is the number to call. We have one line open right now, and if you give us a call, we will be glad to send along one DVD to you for a gift of $75. If you can step up your giving just a little bit more, we'll be glad to send you 2 DVDs for $120. And you know, I know a lot of grandparents take advantage of this. They buy these DVDs and they maybe pass it on to the families so that they can remember stories like of Everett that we're celebrating tonight, the great history and the great celebrations. I encourage you to do that. Most importantly, I encourage you to call. Any gift counts. Any gift sends the message that you care about communities like our town, Everett. You care about this programming and you want to see more of it. Whitney.
You know, it was such a pleasure to work on this program, you know, as one of the producers, myself and Carly Greiner and our videographer, Bill Wallace. When we first came into Everett, it was February, and you guys know what it's like in central Pennsylvania in February. But the response that we received from your friends and neighbors around this project, the enthusiasm, because so many people wanted to come out and show how much pride they had in your hometown. And the amount of stories that were just coming forward, the ideas that everybody was tossing around, and all of the volunteers that wanted to be a part of the project is truly a testament to what a great town you have in Everett, Pennsylvania. So we started working on this in February. Throughout March, you know, we had the community meeting where everybody came out, learned about the project, volunteered for their stories, and went out with their video cameras and started working on them. And now we're seeing it come to life tonight on this broadcast premiere. And now is your opportunity to become involved in the project. This is the last hurrah, the celebration as we see it all come to life on television. And it's your opportunity to be a producer. And when we thank you on air, you're showing your community that you believe in the stories of your hometown, that you share in that pride. So show the rest of Everett, Pennsylvania that you share in the pride of Everett, PA right now at 1-800-245-9779 so we can thank you and let everyone know how much you care about Everett. Give us a call, make that contribution of $75. We'll thank you with a copy of Our Town Everett on DVD. A contribution of $120, we'll send 2 of those DVDs your way. Don't miss out on being a part of tonight's celebration of Our Town Everett right here on your local public TV station, WPSU. We've got a goal of 150 calls tonight, 150 contributions, and we can do it. We can get there with your help and with help from folks like Ronald and Rhonda Rhodes from Everett, Pennsylvania. Thank you so much for your support. Thanks. And we want to hear from you, right, Pat?
Indeed we do. It looks like, oh my, we have open phones. That is just a shame. That is just wrong on so many levels. Somebody needs to go right now and call 1-800-245-9779 and make their gift of support. Again, you can also make your gift online at WPSU.org. Either way is fine with us, but we'd love to have your call tonight to support a great show, to support a great piece of local production, and of course to support your public television station. Thank you so much if you already made your call. As a matter of fact, let me thank right now Betty Slayton of Bedford, Pennsylvania. That's Paul and Betty Slayton. Paul and Betty, thank you so much for doing your part. We appreciate you taking your time to go to the phone and to speak to one of our great volunteers here in the studio tonight. Again, the folks answering calls tonight, folks involved in the production, volunteers who came down to help see this through to the end. Your call is the only thing that's missing right now. We need you to go to that phone and dial 1-800-245-9779 or make your gift online at WPSU.org. Again, I think this is one of the most important series that we as a local public television station can do. I think it's been a great effort for us. It's been a great way to engage our communities, to meet incredible people, to visit incredible places. This series has done so well, has become so popular, and I don't think anybody knows this, but Whitney and some of our colleagues have actually attended national public broadcasting conventions where they have taught lectures to other stations on how to make this series work for them. So across the country, we've now spawned a whole series of Our Town events, and it's working fabulously for those stations, just as it does here. Do your part tonight to support local broadcasting. Do your part tonight to show your love for your hometown. The place where you grew up, or the place where you chose to live, the place where you found love, the place perhaps where you found a career, or maybe it's just the place where you made a lifetime of great memories. But it's here tonight, and your call makes it possible. 1-800-245-9779. Kevin.
Pat is absolutely right. We are most proud of Our Town series, Our Town Everett and other communities like it. It is what makes it great about working at a local public television station, to be able to tell great stories about great townspeople, about great communities. And that's our goal tonight. We're asking you to say, hey, I appreciate this. This is something I support. I want to see more programming like this. And your call at 1-800-245-9779 sends that message to us. A gift in any amount says, I want to see more programming like Our Town Everett. I want to see more programming that allows me to step up and support the great stories and the communities around me. Often on the news you'll see things that aren't necessarily that exciting about a community, or you'll see no one else is going to dedicate an entire evening of programming to the wonderful stories about a community. And if you recognize that and you say, I want to see more of that, I'm encouraging you tonight to give us a call at 1-800-245-9779. Our goal, it's getting a little quiet here if your phones are available. I want to encourage you to give us a call. We want to read your names. We want to celebrate you here on Our Town. And we also want to be able to say, hey, we appreciate you as a viewer, and we appreciate your support. We encourage you to give us a call at 1-800-245-9779. And the thing is, we always have a lot of fun during these pledge breaks. People start calling in. Sometimes there are challenges from classmates, from the Warriors out there. We'd love to hear from different classes. We'd love to hear your nicknames. We'd love to hear your stories about Everett. And sometimes people call in memory of a loved one. We'd love to hear those stories tonight. It's all about hearing from you, the community of Everett, tonight. 1-800-245-9779. Whitney.
And remember, make that contribution at 1-800-245-9779. We would love to thank you with a copy of Our Town Everett on DVD. That can be yours with a contribution of $75. $120 contribution will send you 2 of those DVDs. Every contribution matters. Every contribution makes a difference and goes to support the programs right here on your local public television station. WPSU is a little quiet right now. I want to let you know that we're going to go back to Our Town Everett in just a few minutes, where we are going to learn about the Midstate Trail. We are going to visit, we're going to learn about the Everett Goats, which is so exciting. I can't wait for you to see the Everett Goats. Okay, so everyone in Everett, I'm sure you guys know about the Everett Goats, but it was exciting for us to learn about them. And we're going to visit the Everett Business Association. So stay tuned for all of that and more. But right now is the time for you to give us a call at 1-800-245-9779, like the mayor of Everett. Oh, Mike Zimmerman, thank you so much, Mr. Mayor, for calling in your contribution of support. It's so great to hear from you. Also, Carl Steinberger from Pomona, New York. There's one from New York, someone watching online at WPSU.org. We love to hear from folks who have connections to Everett, but who are watching online or out of the area. Also, Harry Deal from Everett, Pennsylvania. Thank you so much for your contribution of support. Also, Bobby and Kathy Harkleroad from Andover, New Jersey. Thank you so much. Nice to hear from you. 1-800-245-9779 is the number to call for you to be a part of Our Town Everett Night here on WPSU. Remember, $75 contribution will send you a copy of Our Town Everett on DVD. 2 of those DVDs can be yours when you make a contribution of $120. We're going back to Our Town Everett in just a few moments, but there is still time for you to call. Write that telephone number down. We will be here during the show, and we'd love to hear from you. And we will thank you. We'll be sure to thank you, because we want to recognize each and every single person who calls and is a part of Our Town Everett Night here on your local PBS station, WPSU. Again, that telephone number, 1-800-245-9779. But right now, more of Our Town Everett here on WPSU, and thanks.
You can also make your contribution at
I'm Justin Hillegas. I work for the Everett Area School District, and today I'd like to share the story about the pride and the tradition of the Everett Area School District and its community. Everett Area School District consists of parents, students, staff members. It's a rural area, but it's amazing how tight-knit everybody is, and they work together as a community for the pride of Everett. At the elementary, we kick off our school year with our theme with our students. And this year at the elementary schools, our theme was team, and that's together everyone achieves more. And so we work together with parents, with students, with the community to come together to achieve more. And through that, we have our activities and our events throughout the year. We have parent workshop nights 3 to 4 times a year, and we have over 250 parents and families that show up. Those parents also help set up everything and organize, help us plan. We have businesses and organizations that donate food. They donate prizes when everybody shows up, and we have 250 parents and students packed into a gym enjoying the evening, but yet learning. It's an amazing atmosphere. At the high school, they have a theme this year that is, if not me, then who? What that's saying is that I will make a difference. An opportunity for those students to be part of the tradition. Anytime you go to a sporting event at the high school level or you go to a musical, it's always packed. We have trunk or treat night every year, and we've had that for probably 5 or 6 years. And we have over 600 to 700 people that actually show up for that event. And that doesn't happen with just the teachers and staff alone. It has to happen with the parents as well as the community and business organizations helping us out. As a former student at the Everett Area School District, and just seeing myself through some of the years, because of the tight-knit community that we have and the people that live within it, because of the pride that we have, everyone over time takes their place in the Everett area community and works together to make things better, to help the growth of our schools, to help the growth of our community in general.
Hello, my name is Deborah Hall Dunkel, and I'm going to talk about the Midstate Trail and the events that we work with in the town of Everett. The Midstate Trail is made into 4 regions. We have the Everett, the State College region, the Woolrich, and the Tioga regions. It goes from near Flintstone, Maryland, Green Ridge State Park, through central Pennsylvania, and up to the New York border. Dr. Thwaites started everything back in 69-70. They cleared a lot of trails through Penn State, and now it has come down through Everett, Woolrich, and Tioga. It's called the wildest trail in Pennsylvania because you may meet more bears than people when you're still on the trail. And I've actually have met a couple bears on the trail. It's a remote, primitive hiking experience. And it's really fun in that you might think you're completely isolated, but you're actually probably within 2 miles or 2 kilometers of any road when you're hiking up on the mountains or on the ridges. I'm the Everett Region Manager. We keep about 80 miles open here in this region. We have the 1st of May, the HBT Triathlon, which is the Huntington Broad Top Triathlon. We'll do a 14-mile bike around Everett. It's 5-mile walk, hike on the Midstate Trail through Ashcombe up to Luttsville, and then jump in your canoe or kayak and paddle back down to the Everett. The other event is the Muddy Bloody Run through the Tenley Park, and it has close 30 obstacles. They've incorporated the Midstate Trail, so I like to help them out with that. Just fun for the Everett area. When people ask me to do something, it's fun to be able to put the people together or put the events together and to work together. I don't think you can beat our surrounding beauty. I had a hard time at first thinking I didn't really want to share it, but it's just a real interesting way to bring tourism into Bedford County. And I think the county, because of the nature and the outdoorsy part of Bedford County, just lends itself to the hiking trail. The beauty is just for everyone to share.
My name's Carl Michael. I'm the owner of Downriver Golf Course. My family and I own the golf course. It is located east of Everett, just behind Kelly's Restaurant, and I'm going to talk about the golf course and its operations. My father and I actually moved in from Detroit. The golf course was on the auction block. So Dad said, I go up to the auction and, just put a bid on it. But God, we got it. And then we had to learn how to run a golf course. We actually were structural steel fabricators. We had no idea how to run a golf course. We've been there for 25 years. Since then, we've put a lot of money into it, and it's actually turned out to be a pretty good golf course. The golf course is labeled as semi-private. We have members, plus we're open to the public. It's called a championship golf course. 18 holes. I think the white tees are at 6,500 yards. It's being in the mountains here, it's a flat layout. People can walk it. The older guys really like to walk it. It's wide open. You can beat the ball around and still score. A lot of guys, long knockers like that. And we keep it cut down pretty good so you don't have to look for your balls. They're pretty easy to find. We run as early as March, and we can run as long as there's no snow on the ground, we'll keep her open. My wife takes care of the restaurant and lounge. Then we have two boys. Carl has gone to Penn State for the turf agronomy part of it. Nathan has gone to Myrtle Beach to the Golf Academy. So we're all kind of in the business together. Every Tuesday we have trivia and wings, and we have 45 questions and 2 sessions. And it's really pretty interesting what people know. The stuff that just isn't important, but they all know it. It's pretty entertaining. Everybody has a good time. People here are great. We were accepted as soon as we got here, and once we got the golf course running, the locals here were just super for support. Any of the businesses here in town, they're all really supportive. I don't know what else I can tell you, but I really enjoy the people here. They're all down to earth, normal people.
My name is Rebecca Clark, and I own Unit Yarn Shop, and I'm here to talk about the shop and the knitting community in our town. We're located in downtown Everett. It's a small place. I moved to Everett to establish a household with my husband. I left everything behind in Williamsport. Didn't know really what I was going to do. I've loved to knit for a long time, and about 4 months later, I was buying yarn, getting ready to open a yarn shop. In a knit shop, one of the parts that really is a necessity is a social aspect, a getting together, a collaboration. Usually that is in a knit or crochet group. People know that they can gather there. They'll see friends. They'll be able to work on something, get a stitch fixed. It allows them to see what other people are doing, to explore the stitches and the structure involved with it, and do it in a place where there's a safe backstop. I do a lot of teaching and a lot of instructing in the shop, but I tell people my goal is to get you at home in your comfy chair with a glass of wine, knitting and crocheting there, because that's what you really want to do. I got a letter in the mail from the UPMC hospice last year, and they were looking for crocheted angels to give to families when their loved one passes. Well, I thought, we could do this. We're going to make a goal of 30 angels by the end of the summer. And we got them. In November, we did scarves for veterans. I don't have a lot of cash to give to charities here, there, and there. But what I do have is people and connections so that we can together, I donate some yarn, they donate the talent and the time and the love to put into it. What makes this business itself go is just the people. the projects that they do, the joy that they take in it. And one of the things that's been interesting to me is just to find out how therapeutic knitting and crocheting are to people. And I've had a lot of people who have come into the shop on an odd Thursday and they're just a wreck about the tragedies of, that are going on in their life. And they come in and their knitting is in a mess and there's something wrong with it. And, I can't fix another thing in their life. But so often when I can fix that stitch and get them back on their project, then life is just a little bit more in control and things get a little bit better when they walk out. And that's what I really love about owning this shop.
My name is Jennifer Howard, and I am a 2002 graduate of Everett Area High School. I grew up outside of Everett in a town, Clearville, and now I currently live and work in Everett. I work for Lampire, and today I would like to talk about our in-house volunteer group we call Team Lampire, and just some of the various things that we do in the community. I work at the lab facility. It's a bioprocessing center here in Everett. It's located in the Everett Business Park. And we also have a farm facility just outside of Everett on the way to Clearville. Team Lampire is our in-house volunteer group. We have several members. We go out into the community. I'm the events coordinator, so I set up different things for us to do. Some of the things we just participated in last year was the Habitat for Humanity new home build here in Everett. We also participated in the MS Walk, Relay for Life of Bedford County. It's a really great time and is a way for us to give back to the community. Habitat for Humanity of Bedford County is a nonprofit organization, and they build houses for families in need. One of the members of Team Lampire, Jen Hall, in 2009 she was a recipient, her and her son, and their home was built here in Everett.
Habitat is a wonderful opportunity for families to become homeowners and have an affordable mortgage to go with it. So not only do you get an affordable mortgage, but you get a beautiful home out of it, which has been wonderful for myself and my family.
Just this past summer, another new home was built, actually on the lot right next to Jen's, and Team Lampire got together and we helped build the house. And it held a special place in Jen's heart to give back. We're not just employees. We don't just work together and see each other at work, but it builds a family within the company. A lot of the members of Team Lampire that come out with me and do these events, they're my best friends. They're like family to me. Whatever we can do to get out there, it's just our way of giving back. It's important to me to just give back to the place where I am born and raised. This is home to me. This has always been home, always will be home.
Hi, my name is Quinn Conner. I'm from Everett, Pennsylvania, and I'm here to talk about the Everett Goats. The goats first came there about 20 or 22 years ago, and they just were not exactly sure where they came from. They went to Mount Dallas, and they've lived there ever since. There are only 2 at the moment, but we were up to around 6 or 8 at one time, usually around 5. They just graze there on the side of the hill and come down near the road, and they go into the neighbor's yard and back up on the side of the mountain. They're wild, yeah. You can't get near them. They're like a deer. They won't let you pet them or anything like that. Everybody traveling through there looks for the goats. If you're traveling west of Everett, people look to see where the goats are at. Kind of like their mascot. It's kind of like the town mascot. This is the goats. When I tell people that there's a mountain there with wild goats on it, they're like, "Where do you live?" And I said, I live in Everett, and that's our goats. In the summertime, sometimes they move away. They go up on the mountain when there's more food. But in the wintertime, they come more down into the neighbor's yard and into that area. I see them basically every day, and you see them so often you kind of don't even really pay too much attention to them unless they get near the road, and then I get after them a little bit. But yeah, I love to watch them. I've been kind of their guardian for 20 years now, so everybody always asks how they're doing. It's a wonderful town, small town. You know basically everybody. And you go to the grocery store, you run into everybody you know. We take care of each other.
Hello, I am Linda Reel, and I am here representing the Everett Area Better Business Association. The Everett Area Better Business Association is a group of people, business owners, sole proprietorship, maybe corporations, There's people that's interested in just promoting Everett and the surrounding area, bringing in tourism, jobs, businesses, just making the town of Everett better is what it's all about. One thing that has held on for years and we think will continue for many more is the annual Thanksgiving weekend Christmas parade. Santa comes to town that weekend. Every spring, as the spring showers come, the May flowers appear, we have planters all along Main Street. A group of hardworking, dedicated business owners and community-minded people come out and plant the planters to make Main Street beautiful, so the town looks alive. We feel that if the town is kept up and the business fronts are kept up, that it will really be a plus when people come in town. One of the newest events coming to town in 2015 is our farmers market. We're excited about that. It's going to be located pretty much in the center of town, and we have a lot of people that are showing interest. The whole idea is to bring the people of the community and the area and the businesses together. I came to town and started a business and was in town for 12 years. And through joining the Everett Area Better Business Association, I just fell in love with those people. They're like my second family. They just are hardworking, honest people. And it's just a place you can lay your head down at night and just be thankful you're here.
There's more to come as we check out the Everett Free Library, learn more about 2 local heroes, and join the participants at the annual canoe race. But first, show your support for Everett and WPSU by making a pledge. Thanks.
Good evening and welcome back to the WPSU studios. I'm Patrick Smith. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for Our Town Everett. Raucous applause. I love people that take direction. The number to call right now is 1-800-245-9779. We've had some great stories so far tonight. I love the goats. I was asking all kinds of questions about the goats. Everyone here is sick of me asking about the goats. I've decided they're my favorite rock band. 1-800-245-9779. If you have goats, send them to Everett right now. Everett Hardware, just send them to Everett Hardware. I understand they want more goats. It's become quite the tourist thing. 1-800-245-9779. More great stories to come. I am also told, by the way, there's the first phone call. Keep them coming, because I am told there's a rivalry. I am told that the sort of the cross-county or cross-town rivalry is with Bedford. And I quickly went and did a look-up, and because we did it on Our Town Bedford not too long ago. And frankly, if we can hit the goal of 150 calls tonight, you will crush Bedford. You will crush Bedford totally. So, not that we would encourage this kind of rivalry, but that's exactly what we're encouraging. So go to the phone now, 1-800-245-9779. Make a gift of $75. We would love to send you a DVD copy of this show. Yours to keep, yours to review whenever you wish. A nice little historical snapshot. I'll tell you what, even better, if you have the capacity, make a gift of $120. We'll send you 2 DVDs. Keep one for yourself. Give one to somebody else who maybe grew up in Everett but isn't there anymore, somebody who a year from now is new to town and needs a little background. It's a great way to make friends and a great way to show your friends that Everett still is there and Everett still cares. 1-800-245-9779 or online at WPSU.org. We want to get all of those phones ringing, and we want to keep them ringing tonight for Our Town Everett. Carly.
Hi, I'm Carly Greiner. I'm one of the producers on the Our Town series. And, you know, we're talking about this rivalry with Bedford, but we are getting some Bedford love. I want to thank Susan Myers from Bedford for her contributions of support for the Our Town program. Thank you, Susan. You know, it's been a pleasure to be a producer and work on this series and really, you know, immerse myself into these towns. We were talking about the goats. The goats are the talk of the town here in the studio tonight. And we actually saw them when we were coming into town for the screening, and right around the corner, there they are, climbing up the mountain. You know, it's these stories that make a program like the Our Town program so remarkable and such a treasure to keep on your shelves. If you want to get a copy of the DVD, 1-800-245-9779 is the number to call. And for a contribution of $75, our gift to you is 1 copy of the Everett Our Town DVD. For a contribution of $120, that'll get you 2 copies of the Our Town Everett DVD. There's a few more people I want to thank thank you to Shirley Mock of Everett and her Robert Mock. Excuse me. I also want to thank Virginia Fletcher of Breezewood, Pennsylvania. Thank you for your call and contribution of support. You know, we love to hear from everyone, not only in the Everett area, not only in Pennsylvania, but across the nation and worldwide. This is a worldwide premiere tonight. You can join us online, www.wpsu.org/live. You know, you can, if you're having viewing parties, I know Lampire said that they might be having a viewing party. We want to see your pictures. You can put them on Facebook. I'm on Twitter right now at hashtag #OTEverett. That's at WPSU, and you can chat with me, you can chat with Whitney, and you can follow along the conversation. Whitney?
Stay tuned. More of Our Town Everett coming your way. Where else? What other TV station would turn over an entire night's worth of programming to one town? Nowhere else but your local public TV station, WPSU. And that's what we do with the Our Town series. Local stories from your friends and neighbors. And we've been doing it since 1996. The Our Town series was born because WPSU felt so strongly about the importance of sharing stories from local residents, from the towns that we serve, and making sure that those stories were told from the perspectives of the community members themselves. And that's why this program, this series, is so important, because it's actually featuring video shot by the townspeople, the voices of the townspeople who sit down and tell the stories. And that's what makes this whole entire series, this program that we're watching tonight, so special, because it truly is from the perspective of your neighbors in Everett. And right now we're asking you to do your part, to go to the phone and do what you can to make your contribution at 1-800-245-9779. A contribution in any amount helps the programming here on WPSU. A lot of people think that when they write that check out to their cable or satellite provider every month, that a portion of those proceeds go to help WPSU and pay for the programming here, but in fact they don't. And we're right now asking you to step up and do your part. Maybe it's for that $75 contribution, and we'll thank you with a copy of the DVD. A $120 contribution will send you 2 DVDs. But don't think of it as purchasing a DVD. Think of it as endowing the programs and the local stories that you find on public television. 1-800-245-9779. Pat?
Couple people I'd like to thank. Chris Calhoun, Jenny Calhoun, Seth and Evan Calhoun of Breezewood, Pennsylvania. Thank you so much for your support tonight. Great to hear from you. Joe and Jackie Imes of Everett, PA. Thank you so much. Great to hear from you. Richard and Janice Layton of Everett, thank you so much for your call tonight and your support. A number of folks who've made, I missed somebody, I apologize. Oh, Brad and Nancy Krasovich of State College, thank you so much for your gift of support. Great to hear from you. We would love to hear from you next. And let me make a suggestion. You know, if you grew up in Everett and you maybe had a teacher that was very important to you and made a real difference in your life, if you had a favorite aunt or a favorite uncle, if you want to call tonight and you want us to recognize them, you know, here's a gift from Patrick Smith, who wants to recognize his English teacher. If you want to challenge your other classmates, great time to do that, great fun, a great way to get in touch with people again. Do that now. Make that call tonight at 1-800-245-9779 or go online at WPSU.org. Make a gift of $75. We'll thank you with the DVD of the show you're watching. Whitney, is there additional content on this? There's a little bit of additional content. So there is some bonus content on that DVD that we're not running tonight. A gift of $120. We can send you 2 DVDs, so a nice way to have something for yourself and to share with a friend, a family member, perhaps somebody you knew that no longer is in Everett that would love to see the show. But make that call. Let us thank you on the air, like we're going to thank that person very shortly, and let us recognize those people who were important to you, those people who made a difference, maybe growing up in Everett, or those people who make a difference to your life in Everett every day right now. Small towns are the backbone of America. Small towns are the backbone of Pennsylvania. We love small towns. There's nothing more important to us except maybe your call right now at 1-800-245-9779. Over to producer Carly Greiner.
Thanks, Pat. I believe that we have one phone open right now, so if you're calling and you can't get through, just give us about 30 seconds to a minute and keep calling. We want to take your calls tonight. The number to call is 245-9779. We have 2 phones open now, and for a contribution of support for $75, it'll bring you home 1 DVD of the Our Town Everett. And like Pat just said, the Our Town Everett DVD does include 2 features. Those are promos that you've seen on your WPSU PBS station here in central Pennsylvania. A $120 contribution will bring you 2 DVDs of the Our Town program, and maybe you'll want to keep one of those for yourself and donate maybe one of those to the Everett Area School District, one of those to the library. And in fact, in this upcoming block, we're going to hear from the library and learn about some of their history and some of the things that they do in town. I want to say a special thank you, though, to Frank and Kitty Dunkel. I wonder if they're related to Deb Dunkel, who we just heard talk about the Midstate Trail. I also haven't had a chance to check my Twitter yet, but if you're following along on Twitter, I'll be with you in just a minute. But I wanted to talk about one thing. The school mentioned that they have kind of like a motto that they go by. If not me, then who? And hashtag I will. And this is something that, you know, the school district's doing to maintain a positive attitude. And one thing I ask is, if not, you know, you, then who will? Your friends and neighbors stepping up to make their contribution of support to support local programming like the Our Town series that you see here on WPSU. 1-800-245-9779 is the number that you need to call. Again, for your contribution of supports, we'll send you 1 DVD for a $75 contribution and 2 DVDs for a $120 contribution. 1-800-245-9779. Whitney?
So you've been hearing a lot of names tonight. You've been hearing us thank some folks who have stepped up, done their part, become partners in this production, become producers, if you will, making the Our Town Everett show possible. Your friends and neighbors who have done their part tonight and given us a call at 1-800-245-9779. We're waiting for you to be that next person that we thank, like Carol Parrish from Bedford, who says that her mother and father went to Everett High School. They were George and Maxine Giffen. So thank you so much, Carol, for being a part of tonight's broadcast. Also, Harry and Linda Felton from Martinsburg, Pennsylvania, and Linda and James Snow from Everett. So we're thanking all these folks because we want to make sure to recognize each and every single person who did their part. Just like all of the folks who stepped up and did their part to make this show possible by going out with video cameras, still cameras, to find all of the great photos and pieces of video that you've been watching in tonight's show. All of the folks who did their part to sit down on camera, not an easy task to sit down on camera and talk about a story, but they did it because they're proud of Everett. So everyone's doing their part to make Our Town Everett possible. We're asking you to be a part of it, and we want to thank you by name. We've got a goal of 150 calls that we're looking, 150 contributions that we're looking to raise tonight around Our Town Everett to help pay for the program, and we want to hear from you. 1-800-245-9779. A $75 contribution will get you a copy of Our Town Everett on DVD, a $120 contribution, 2 of those DVDs, but remember, it's every dollar that makes a difference. Every contribution matters, and it helps support the programs. We're getting ready to go into the 20th year of the Our Town series. That's amazing to me that we have been sharing stories from local towns throughout central Pennsylvania for nearly 20 years. And right now, it's Everett's turn, and we're looking for you to be a part of it. 1-800-245-9779. Who's the next one that we're going to thank? Pat?
A lot of opportunity to make your call to be that next person. We have 4 lines open right now. Our young junior executive reserve backup producer, Olivia, is back there. She's running forms for us tonight. Doing a fine job, but she was actually standing still, and that's not good. Our goal tonight is by the time this evening is over, Olivia should be a world-class sprinter. She should be capable of running any distance really, really fast. So keep those calls coming. Let's keep Olivia busy. Let's keep our fabulous phone volunteers busy tonight with your calls at 1-800-245-9779. You can also make your gift online at WPSU.org. A few people to thank very quickly, and I love this. Peggy Thomas of Breezewood called and said she wanted to give a big shout-out and recognition to Mr. Paul Schatz, a wonderful retired teacher. Thank you, Peggy. We appreciate that, and a nice message for your retired teacher. Joyce Sheets called on behalf of Martine's Restaurant. Hey, what's great at Martine's Restaurant? Everything. Everything's great at Martine's Restaurant. Way to go. Okay, we also heard from Gary and Linda Wilt of Everett, Pennsylvania. Thank you so much, Gary and Linda. And Frank and Alice Bittner of Everett. Thank you so much, Frank and Alice. Good to hear from you as well tonight. If you are enjoying this show, if you love local history, if you want to have something to share with family and friends and those neighbors or those relatives who perhaps used to be in Everett, but they're gone to farther distances now, take a moment, make a call, make a pledge. Give a gift of $75. We will thank you with a single copy of the DVD of tonight's show. That includes some bonus material as well. Make a gift of $120. Get 2 copies. Keep one for yourself. Share one for a friend. But this is local history. This is local emotion. This is a little bit about who you are and where you're from and what you do. And it's the kind of thing that no commercial station ever does. Commercial stations come to your town in a news truck when something really awful has happened. WPSU comes to your town because we think you have great stories to tell, and we want to share them with everybody else. Go to the phone right now, 1-800-245-9779, and thank you for your call. Carly.
Thanks, Pat. So I've just been told that Martine's has the best cup of coffee that you can get in town, so head there and grab some coffee.
Everybody in the van, let's go.
I have some thank yous that I want to get out of the way and acknowledge on air. So Matt and Judy Hilligas, thank you so much for calling in for your contribution of support from the Everett area. Gary Shetter, thank you for calling in. Dave and Prudy Wilt called to make their contribution of support, and so can you. 1-800-245-9779 is the number that you need to call. I think we have about 45 calls in right now. We have a goal tonight to reach 150 calls. In order to make that happen, we need you to go to your phone and call 1-800-245-9779 and call in to make your contribution of support for your local public television station in WPSU. A $75 contribution will get you 1 copy of the Our Town Everett DVD, and for a $120 contribution, that'll get you 2 copies of the Our Town Everett DVD. Ruth Smith, thank you from Everett, Pennsylvania for your call of support, and Pam Wilt of Breezewood, thank you. You know, we love hearing from everyone, not only in the Everett area, but across Pennsylvania, outside of the state. If you are from the Everett area, you're tuning in, you're watching online, your friends and neighbors were in this show, we want to hear from you. This is your show. It's about your hometown, and these are your stories. WPSU doesn't solicitate stories. These are the stories that your friends and neighbors wanted to tell, and they want to share them with you. 1-800-245-9779. Whitney?
More Our Town Everett coming your way. Stay tuned. But right now, we want to hear from you. 1-800-245-9779. That's the number to call to be a part of Our Town Everett night here on WPSU. You know, we did do an Our Town Everett back in September of 2007. And it actually holds a very special place in my heart because it was the very first Our Town that I had the pleasure of being a part of, and I remember it very well. And when the folks came out to help plan this project that we're seeing come to life tonight on television, there were many familiar faces. So it was a great reunion for many of us who worked on this project to come back together to put this current show together to make it happen. And we were so excited that so many of the people are still there and still have so much love for Everett, Pennsylvania. And you're seeing it come to life tonight on screen. And we're asking you to step up and to be a part of it right now. The number to call is 1-800-245-9779. A contribution in any amount goes so far to support the stories, the local stories that you know and love and only find on your local public television station, WPSU. Just like the stories that you find on the Our Town series that was born right here on WPSU almost 20 years ago. And those stories are still going strong because of support from viewers like you, like Joyce Samuel from Everett, Pennsylvania. Thank you so much, Joyce, for making your contribution. And Sam and Connie Hunt from Bedford, thank you so much to the Hunts for making your contribution. And John Akers from Everett, thank you, John, for being a part of tonight's broadcast. And Don and Joyce Whetstone from Everett, thanks so much for your support as well. You're the next one we want to thank. 1-800-245-9779, a $75 contribution. We'd love to thank you with a copy of Our Town Everett on DVD. Your $120 contribution, we will send you 2 of those DVDs, but you have to call to be a part of Our Town Everett. You don't want to be walking around Everett tomorrow. You don't want to be walking down the street, going to lunch at the Union Hotel and have someone say, hey, I don't think I heard your name last night on WPSU during Our Town Everett. Where were you? Well, now's your chance to be a part of it. Give us a call, 1-800-245-9779. Pat?
Some folks to thank who made their gift online. So if you've been thinking about going to WPSU.org, please do so now. Follow in the great footsteps of Cynthia Pittman of Everett. Thank you so much for your gift of support. We appreciate you making your gift at WPSU.org. We also heard from Stephen and Ashley McCahan of Everett. Thank you so much. They say this is in memory of Everett Rexall pharmacist Mac McCahan. I'm sorry, it's pronounced McCann. I apologize. I missed that first. Mac McCann, and in honor of Gene McCann, longtime Everett School Board member. So a nice shout out. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. We also heard from Nancy Wirtz of Everett. Thank you, Nancy. We appreciate your contribution tonight. We appreciate your watching the show. We also had an anonymous contribution from Clearville, Pennsylvania. So we would love to hear from you next. I know some of you are watching from your homes out of state. You're probably streaming the signal at WPSU.org. Maybe Everett was where you grew up. Maybe Everett was a place you lived or worked for a while and you've now moved somewhere else. But if you're watching, we'd love to hear from those of you who are watching us from out of state. I think we've had one call from New York. Many times during Our Town, we hear from all over the country. We count those states. We think it's a fabulous reflection on the Our Town series, and we'd love to hear from you tonight. 1-800-245-9779. Online, as some of these folks did, at WPSU.org. Again, a gift of $75, and we can thank you with a single DVD copy of the show. A gift of $120, and we will thank you with 2 DVDs, so a nice keepsake for yourself and a gift for someone else as well. But it all starts with your call, your contribution right now at 1-800-245-9779. And again, if you have someone from Everett that you would like to recognize, someone you would like to thank, a teacher, a family member, a minister, someone who played an important role in your life, someone who has played an important role in the life of Everett, now's the time to call and make that recognition as part of your thank you and your gift. 1-800-245-9779. Looks like we have 3 lines open, and that's just wrong. Olivia's running as hard and as fast as she can, and she said anything you call in, she will carry. Get to the phones right now. 1-800-245-9779. Back over to Carly.
Thanks. Olivia is working hard. We put her to work back there, but she's loving it in Our Town studio tonight. I want to say a special thank you to Judy Mae Bennett. She called and made her contribution in memory of a particular loved one of hers. So in memory of Ted and Mary May, Judy Mae Bennett, thank you for your contribution of support. If you know somebody from the Everett area and you want to call and make a contribution in memory of them, please do so. We love to hear from you, and we love to announce that on air. 1-800-245-9779 is the number to call. And for a contribution of $75, that'll bring you 1 copy of the Our Town Everett DVD. And for a contribution of $120, that'll bring you 2 copies of the Our Town Everett DVD. I just got word that I think that we're just got our 50th phone call in. That's a third of our goal. We want to make our goal 100%. If not me, then who will? Hashtag I will, and hashtag OT Everett on Twitter at WPSU. You can call in to make a contribution, 1-800-245-9779. Or if you don't want to call in, you're not comfortable with that, you can also make your contribution online at WPSU.org, and you'll still receive those great thank yous. I want to say something about the Everett community. Whitney and I go into lots of different communities, but the warmth and welcomeness that we got from the Everett community was absolutely remarkable. They welcomed us into their library, into the historical museum, the railroad museum. And it's just been such a wonderful community to work with. The school and the Everett United Methodist Church welcome us there. And it's been so remarkable to work with these individuals in the community. And they're so proud of this program, and they're so proud to share this program with viewers like you. 1-800-245-9779 is the number you need to call to support programming like this that you see on your local PBS station. Whitney?
And now is your turn to be proud, because you can be proud when you support this program at 1-800-245-9779. Every contribution makes a difference. Every dollar goes to support the programs here on WPSU. Whether it's that $75 contribution, where we'll thank you with a copy of Our Town Everett on DVD, or $120 contribution, we'll thank you with 2 DVDs. But being a part of Our Town Everett night on WPSU is something that is so special, because it's a night of programming on public television devoted to your hometown, and we want you to be a part of it. We want you to join in it. You know, all of the volunteers who came out and joined us in this project put so much time and effort into each and every single story, and they thought about it. They collected all the video and photos. They spent so much time because they wanted it to be just so perfect. And now we're seeing it come to life. And every phone call that we're receiving, every name that we're reading on air, every contribution that we're acknowledging, those are folks who appreciate all of the hard work that went into this, and all of your friends and neighbors who share in the pride that you share in Everett. And if you share in that pride too, we want you to give us a call right now at 1-800-245-9779. And here are some more folks who have that same pride in Everett. Lampire Biological Laboratories, in memory of Larry Sipes. I had the honor of interviewing Jen Howard, actually, and that was a great story, and she was such a sweet person to interview. Also, Snyder Bus Lines. Thank you so much from Everett for making that contribution. And John Neville from Everett called in, and the comment was, this is in support of Everett. So thank you so much, John, for making your contribution. And we've got one here from the Grove family from Clearville. This is Jim, Jessica, Sid, and Tyson. Thank you so much to the Grove family. And Gary and Cindy Pepple from Clearville, thank you so much for your support. And we want to hear from you next. You're the next one we want to thank at 1-800-245-9779. Remember, $75 contribution. We'll thank you with a copy of Our Town Everett on DVD. $120 contribution, 2 of those DVDs. But you have to call to be a part of Our Town Everett night. 1-800-245-9779. Pat?
I have a thank you I'd like to start off with. It's from Barb Miller of Everett, and she says, as president of the Everett Alumni Association, I challenge Everett alumni everywhere to call in and make a gift in support of Our Town Everett. And I mention that now, 1, to say thank you to Barb, 2, to encourage you to accept that challenge, and 3, to let you know that right now there are 4 lines open. So if you haven't had a chance to make your call yet, if you've been sitting on the fence, get off the fence and go to the phone. 1-800-245-9779. You may also make your gift online at WPSU.org. I would also like to thank Larry McCann from Bedford. He says, in memory of my brother Mac McCann, thank you very much. Would like to thank Terry and Janet Chalfant, who say we love Everett. Thank you so much, Terry and Janet. Great to hear from you. Would like to thank Tom and Laverne Fink of Everett. Thank you so much, Tom and Laverne. We appreciate your support tonight. Would also like to thank Kim, and I'm not sure if it's Nebel or Nebel Douglas, who says she's a 1983 graduate of Everett, also encouraging folks to make their call of support and participate in supporting the show tonight. Hey, Eugene and Allegra Morrill, thank you so much for calling from Everett and making your gift of support. And again, back to Barb, challenging all of those alumni from Everett. So we need to hear from you next. Phone lines are open. The volunteers are here. They had a little soda. They got a little caffeine in them. They've had some pizza. They're ready to go. They're primed. They're carb fired. They're ready to go. All that's missing right now is your call at 1-800-245-9779. When you get one of our volunteers on the phone, there was somebody who had too much caffeine. I was talking to her earlier. When you get on, yes, I'm serious. When you get on the phone, just let them know that you're calling to support the show. It takes about 1 minute to complete that pledge form. And again, let them know if you'd like a copy of that DVD, available as our way of saying thanks for your gift of $75, or perhaps you'd like 2 DVDs. Somebody in here mentioned they were going to donate one to a library. So for we'll send you 2 DVDs in return for your contribution of $120. It's a lot of fun here tonight. The only person who hasn't attended yet is you. Go to the phone right now. Carly.
Thanks, Pat. He's right. It's your call, your contribution that helps support and pay for programs like the Our Town program that you see on your PBS station, WPSU. In a few minutes, we're going to go back to the show. Everett has a lot more stories that they want to share with you. But first, I want to say thank you to a few individuals who called in for their support. Joel, I hope I get this right. Lingenfelter?
Sure.
Lingenfelter? All right.
Good answer. Good answer.
He said that he lived in Everett for 61 years, which is longer than the WPSU station's been here. So that's something. Thank you for your call of support. Lee and Randy Pepple from Everett, thank you again for your call and contribution of support. Vera Wilt from Breezewood, Pennsylvania. We're getting a lot of calls from Breezewood tonight. Thank you for your call of support. Penny Ramsey and Penny, Tony, and Ethan, we want to thank you for tuning in tonight, watching this program here on your local PBS station, and thank you for your pledge of support. Again, the number that you need to call if you want to be a part of the fun here in the studio tonight, you want to say thank you to somebody on air, is 1-800-245-9779. And for a $75 contribution, we'll send you a gift of the Our Town Everett DVD. And for a $120 contribution, we'll send you 2 DVDs of the Our Town Everett program. It's very quiet here in the studio. In just about a minute, we're going to go back to the phones. I hear a phone ringing. But it's important, for programming like this that you call 1-800-245-9779. Whitney?
Hey, Quinn Connor, who keeps those goats well taken care of. Thank you so much for making your contribution. I actually got to interview Quinn, and it was such a treat. 1-800-245-9779 is the number to call, and he's making the donations for the goats. We want to hear from you because you're making your contribution in honor of Our Town Everett. Right now, we are having a great time in the studio celebrating Everett. We're going back to Our Town Everett in just a few seconds. Write the number down. We'll be here during the show waiting to take your contribution and your call and to thank you when we're back after this next set of stories. 1-800-245-9779, and thanks so much for your support.
You can also make your contribution at WPSU.org. Click on Donate at the top of the page. It's always available and easy to use. Thanks.
I'm Shauna McQuaid. I'm the Director of Public Relations and Marketing for Allegheny College of Maryland, and I'm here to talk about the Bedford County campus, which is located in the Everett area. Prior to 1990, Bedford County did not have higher education. The citizens of the county did not have access, convenient access to higher education. There was really a grassroots effort for growth to happen in Bedford County. It was decided that there needed to be post-secondary education. If we want to bring in additional businesses and industry, then we need to make sure our citizens are trained and it's a qualified workforce. In 1990, Allegheny College of Maryland took an interest in trying to help meet that goal and started offering classes at Everett Area High School. And then in 1994, we were able to open up our own campus. We have various certificate programs, associate degrees. We also offer continuing education courses for enrichment. We also offer computer science and technology programs. We have business programs. We have a nursing program here, and we actually operate that out of the Bedford County Technical Center. We offer college classes to students at the junior and senior level of high school. In addition to that, we do workforce training. So we work with businesses to train their employees to help them improve upon or learn a new skill. Our mission is just lifelong learning and providing opportunity to anyone that can benefit from post-secondary education. To date, really, we've served over 12,000 students in some way, whether it's through a credit class, a continuing education class, early college program. I would say the college has been such a success, and the reason we're still here after 25 years is the community involvement and commitment, and that includes our staff. They don't just work at the Everett campus, but they're Everett residents, so it's very important to them to operate that campus, to keep it thriving and growing and changing, and making sure that the residents here have access to higher education, letting them achieve and improving their lives.
Hi, I'm Jim Markle. I'm here to talk about the Everett Area Renaissance Foundation. The Everett Renaissance Foundation is a nonprofit educational foundation. We service all the students of the Everett Area School District. The group itself started in 1992. We serve the school district in three ways. One, through academics, recognizing academics. Two, community. And three, positive image of the school. When you walk into a school, one of the first things you usually see is trophies for sports, and we don't want to take away from that. But we want to take and have more things out there that show what the kids are doing, not just the sports, but also with their academics, and also what teachers have done as well, and staff. We try to highlight those things by getting their pictures up on the wall, having Students of the Month, handing out scholarships, of course, and trying to seek scholarships for our kids. We try to make it more of a homey environment, having flowers and stuff like that. We have benches and different things like that. Our theme this year, we always come up with a theme every year. This year our theme was #IWill. And the question we posed to them at the beginning of the year was, if not me, then who will? We're recognizing this year a lot of the accomplishments the kids make, the ones that step forward and say, I will do it. We have wonderful parents that help with all events. The Lions Club have been a great support in the past. The businesses within the community, I would say about 60% of our funding come from within the staff because they buy into this. They know this is working for our kids. Everybody helps, and that's what makes it happen. They know that if we provide the incentives for the kids and recognize them, that there will be a great accomplishment and it's going to come back and be a benefit to the community. One of our sayings is, somebody has to go polish the stars, and that's Shel Silverstein's poem. And the whole thing is if we're going to make our students better, we need to be there to help polish them. The warrior pride's there. We bleed red here, of course, literally. I had wonderful teachers here at Everett. I wanted to come back and do that as well, and I wanted to help support the kids like my teachers supported me.
Hi, I'm Eleni Levan. I am the Public Relations and Programming Coordinator for the Everett Free Library. The Everett Free Library is very historically significant to the town of Everett. It is the oldest library in Bedford County. It was established in 1923 by Mrs. Frances Baker. She was a teacher and a mother of 5. It was actually first at the Everett Bank, and then we moved over to Main Street, and we've expanded a couple of times. The Everett Free Library has over 35,000 titles currently. We try to keep up with technology as much as we can. We have some Kindles actually that we rent out, and we do have some ebooks through other libraries that you can access online. Something else that's really unique to our library is we have the Pennsylvania room. It has all of the historical volumes about different people in the area, history of the area. A lot of people will come and use it for genealogy. The children's area is called the Elsie Mae Coven Children's Area. We have a story hour every Friday at 11 a.m. for them, so that's very fun. We get a lot of participants, especially in the summertime. We have a summer reading program as well, and they come in, they have a great time. We have activities at the library. It's really been going well. The young adult den is actually something new at the library. We completely remodeled that one whole side of the library. We have bar stools, computers, and all of the young adult books are back in that section. So you can come study, hang out, bring your laptop if you want to, or we have the computers back there. We just had a Dr. Seuss party because it was Dr. Seuss's birthday. That one was very successful. We bring in as many speakers as we can. We try to get local authors. We have some pretty well-known local artists on display. We're kind of the hub of the community. We're in the middle of town. We try to appeal to everyone. We realize that it's not just an outlet for children. It's an outlet for the whole community. I love seeing people come in every day. You know what they read, you know them by name. You get to know people. You definitely have regulars. It's always good to see new faces though too.
Hi, I'm Barbara Miller, and I'm here to talk about the bridges in Everett. Let's start with Ellis Weath. He was the oldest one. Ellis left high school and joined the Army in 1942, and he was in France, and his squadron was pinned down under fire. And he was at the highest point in this town in a building, and he stayed there and shot till his rest of his squadron had gotten to safety. And he was eventually killed, and he was buried over in France. Ellis Weath received a Congressional Medal of Honor for his heroic deeds over in France. The bridge in 1990 was dedicated, as known as the Ellis Weath Bridge. It's the bridge that's on the west end of Everett. Last year, it was completely redone. It's a very beautiful bridge, and we're working now to get a very nice sign at the end of it so people will know who Ellis Weath was and what he did. The other bridge is the Robert Hartsock Bridge. It was dedicated a couple years ago. The Robert Hartsock Bridge is on the east end of Everett. Robert was in the Vietnam War. Robert's squadron went under fire. Robert threw himself on this satchel that had your grenade to save his commanding officer from being blown up. He was mortally wounded, but he crawled into a ditch and he opened fire until he shot all the enemy and his commanding officer got to safety. Robert was very well liked in his class. He was a baseball player for Everett High School and very popular young man. And we thought, well, one bridge is named for one Medal of Honor receiver. We need this one named for Robert Hartsock. And we have two bridges named for the Congressional Medal of Honor recipients from the small little area of Everett. We have tried to find out if there was another town or another small school district would have two, and we have not come up with any yet that had two Congressional Medal of Honor recipients. We are so proud. I am just so proud to sit here and tell the story of these two men.
My name is Chelsea Cornell. I'm here to talk about the Racetown Canoe Club and the Bloody Run Canoe Classic. The Racetown Canoe Club is the nonprofit that organizes the Bloody Run Canoe Classic, the canoe and kayak race each spring. The Canoe Club was founded a long time ago, so it's been around for about 30 years, and it just got revived in 2008 with assistance from REI and our community to bring back the race for something fun in the spring to do. This year it's the same weekend as the Huntington Broad Top Rail Trail Triathlon that's going on, so the canoe race is Saturday and the triathlon is Sunday, so it's a big weekend in Everett. There's a 9-mile and a 5-mile race through the Juniata River. The 9-mile starts under the Narrows Bridge in Bedford, and the 5-mile starts in Littsville at the Indian. The 5-mile is more a beginner race, so beginner to advanced, anyone can participate. The 9-mile, you might want to have a little bit more skill. It's just a longer race in general, but we do have all different classes from beginners to advanced for each race. Everyone from the area is invited. Canoes, kayaks, we had a paddleboarder last year, and even just floating down the river for fun. We also have helped clean up the river, supporting the local waterway. There was one summer we pulled a whole bunch of tires out of the Juniata River, all the way from the Narrows Bridge down to downtown Everett. It's all neighborly, it's all community-supported efforts to clean up the river or even put this race on. Coming back, just recently moved back to the community, I didn't realize how involved in the outdoors the town really is. Moving out of the area and not knowing your neighbor, you don't always get involved as quickly, but when you know your neighbor, when you know the community, and the community has such a big support of an effort, there's a lot of things that are happening.
My name is Don Bird, and I'm the chair of the Everett Area Fund. We are a nonprofit fund that supports educational, recreational, civic activities in the Everett area. We were formed in 2005 from the sale of the Glenn and Betty Tenley property. At the time of the sale, they created Tenley Park, and the remainder of the funds were put in a fund that's managed by Community Foundation for the Alleghenies. And that fund is what we use to support other activities and other nonprofits in the area. We hold fundraising events and make donations to the Everett Rec Board, Tenley Park, the Everett Library, a lot of other nonprofits. We have had, for the last 2 years, a fund run, 5K run and 2-mile walk. It's done right around Halloween, and we ask all the runners to dress in costumes. We do this down at the Downriver Golf Course here in Everett, and right after the race, we also have a Halloween party. We have just started trivia events, trivia night fundraisers. We had 18 teams the last time. A lot of fun for Everett area residents. We donated funding to the Everett Area Better Business Association last summer for the Everett block parties. So they were able to bring in bands for 3 months for 3 different block parties. We have 11 board members that are from throughout the community. We are all volunteer. In a small town, people have the willingness to work together. The Everett Area Fund is important because the Everett area needs an organization that supports multiple activities and multiple committees and other nonprofits. It's an organization that helps, or we try to help pull the community together. Everett's a pretty special place. I didn't grow up here, but I've been here for 10 years now. And there's a lot that the community has to offer to the people that live here and the people that live around here.
There's more to come as we meet the Everett Basket Weavers Guild, visit a local manufacturer, and hear from one of the oldest service organizations in Everett. But first, show your support for Everett and WPSU by making a pledge. Thanks.
It's Everett night here in the WPSU studio, and we're joined here with the Everett community, the volunteers in production, volunteers that came out to support the Our Town Everett program. But we want to kick this off. 1-800-245-9779 is the number that you need to call to show your support for the Our Town Everett program. 1-800-245-9779. And my friend and fellow colleague, Pat, is going to tell you about our thank yous.
Indeed, I would love to tell you what's available this evening, and because what's available is the story of your town. It's Our Town Everett, and if you can make a contribution tonight of $75, we will very gratefully send you a copy of the show. That's a single copy of the Our Town Everett DVD. That does include bonus material that we're not able to bring you tonight. Make a gift of $120, and we can thank you with 2 copies of Our Town Everett. So one for yourself, a nice keepsake, and maybe one to give to a friend or associate or relative, maybe someone who left the area, or maybe just somebody who you love and respect and who didn't have a chance to catch the show tonight. You determine how to use that extra copy, but be determined to go to the phone right now to make your gift at 1-800-245-9779. You can, of course, also make your gift online at WPSU.org. Make that gift of support right now. A few people to thank. I'd like to thank May and Webb Redinger in honor of the Everett class of 62. Great to hear from you. Way to throw down the gauntlet there with the class of 62. Mary Jane Wilt, memory of her husband Terry Wilt, born and raised in Everett, graduated in 62. Thank you, Mary Jane. Great to hear from you. We appreciate that gift and that sentiment. We had, let me see, Cheryl Giffen Bear from Houston, Texas. I think that's our winner for distance so far tonight. In memory of my parents, Maxine and George Giffen Everett, graduates. Also in honor of my sister, Chris Giffen Uranich, who was a 75 Everett graduate. So, Cheryl in Texas, thank you so much. Great to hear from you. You're in the lead for greatest distance right now. Dan and Ann Schaefer from Bernice's Gift Shop on Main Street, Everett. Yeah. Crowd goes wild here. Thank you. Thank you, Dan and Ann. Great to hear from you. Sonny and Bonnie Redinger say, please give a shout out to all the staff at Hometown Bank of PA. This is the newest bank in Everett. Big shout out to all the staff there, and thank you, Sonny and Bonnie. Would also like to thank, this says, Ron McFarland Furniture. Would like to thank Ron, Dorothy, and Angie. There you go. And we'd like to thank Elfie Carstairs of Everett, Pennsylvania. Thank you so much for your gift of support. Great to hear from all of you. We would love to hear from you next. Have you had a chance to make your call to maybe pick up a DVD or recognize someone who's important to you? Well, now's the time. We've got the lines open. 1-800-245-9779. Kevin.
We are all about our town, Everett, here in the studio tonight. We're having a great time celebrating with the people of Everett and celebrating your local public television station, WPSU. What we're asking you to do is go to your phone, call 1-800-245-9779, and let us know that you support great local programming that tells the wonderful stories of your friends and neighbors by calling us and making a pledge of support. Any pledge says that you care about your local public television station, WPSU, and take great pride in your community, the community of Everett, which is a great town. But if you can step up your giving to $75, we'll be glad to send along a DVD of Our Town Everett. It's our way of saying thank you to you for your support. If you can step up the giving even a little bit more to $120, we'll send along 2 DVDs of Our Town Everett. There is bonus material on there, so you can see a little bit that's not in the program tonight and enjoy that at home. I encourage you to take advantage of this. This is the only time you can take advantage of these Our Town DVDs, and it's a great price. It's a great way to pass along the history of your community and all the things that make your community wonderful. Having visited recently for the preview, it is a great town, and I look forward to coming back many, many more times and hearing from you and thanking you on the air tonight at 1-800-245-9779. Carly.
Thanks, Kevin. I heard that we just reached about 85 calls in tonight. Our goal tonight is 150, so we are almost there. We just need you to call in tonight with your contribution of support at 1-800-245-9779. A $75 contribution will bring you 1 copy of the DVD, and a $120 contribution will bring you 2 copies of the DVD. And maybe one is for you, one is for a friend, a neighbor. You could donate one to your local school. You could donate one to your local library, because everyone in Everett is going to be talking about the Our Town Everett program that you're watching tonight on your PBS station, WPSU. I have some thank yous that I want to announce. Kathy Calhoun calling from Everett, and she wants to thank Kathy, Jeff, Renee, Jacob, and Ethan Calhoun. Thank you to all the Calhouns in Everett calling today to make their contribution of support. I also want to thank Matt and Tasha Imler, right? For your call of support. Thank you. And the number that they're calling to support the Our Town program is 1-800-245-9779. Just like Aim and Darlene Grimes calling for their contribution of support, and their contribution was made in memory of Wade Grimes. So thank you. Mandy and Jason Merkel, Jason, Mandy, Natalie, Wyatt, and Katie Merkel of Clearville, thank you for calling in. You know, this Our Town program is about putting the cameras into the volunteers and community's hands and really letting them showcase what makes their hometown a great place to live. And they are so happy and enthused to be here tonight and to have you call in and celebrate. 1-800-245-9779 is the number that you need to call to show your support. A $75 contribution will bring you home one copy of the Our Town Everett DVD, and a $120 contribution will bring you home 2 copies of the DVD. Again, you can make that contribution by calling us here in the studio live tonight, 1-800-245-9779, and online, WPSU.org. Pat?
A few people to thank very quickly. We would like to thank Jolene, I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, Dallavalle of Everett. Thank you so much, Jolene, for your call just a few minutes ago. Excuse me. We'd like to thank Donna Christopher from Everett, Pennsylvania. Thank you so much for your call during the show tonight. We appreciate that. Another thank you to, whoops, pages stuck together, Myron and Jean Wilt of Breezewood. Thank you, Myron and Jean. Great to hear from you. We appreciate that. A shout out to Lydia Yoder. Lydia is from Belleville, Pennsylvania, and Lydia just happens to be the mother of Clint, who is one of our very fine technical crew here in the studio tonight. And also, we have a change on the leaderboard here. Margaret Wallace, I think it's Yova of Chula Vista, California. So we now have a new winner in the distance for Canada. So now we got to go beyond the Pacific coast. We need someone from Japan, maybe Thailand, to call and make a gift of support for our town, Everett. A quick reminder, the numbers that Carly just shared with you about the number of calls were right around 85 calls. Now, that would actually tie with your crosstown rival, Bedford, if we were people who were concerned about that kind of thing. Not that we are those kind of people, even though we are. So, if you are the kind of people in Everett that settle for a tie with your crosstown rival, then you're good. But I actually think you're not. You must break them. You must crush them. 1-800-245-9779. Kevin, save it.
So they've crushed them. But we want to keep hearing from you. We just reached 90 calls, but we're still well on the way to that 150 goal, and we want to hear from folks. If you can light these phones up, which you're doing a great job tonight, Everett. If you can light these phones up 6 more times, we reach our goal for the night. And we know that you support great programming like Our Town Everett here on your local public television station, WPSU, celebrating 50 years this year. We want to thank Dwayne, Linda, and Preston Barkman, who called in. They are bus contractors for the Everett School for 31 years. Yeah, a lot of folks know you in the audience tonight. And they are giving a shout out to the kids. I hope maybe you're not still up, but Bus 9 and 31, we want to give you guys a shout out tonight. So thank you. They're still up. They're watching Our Town Everett like everyone else in Everett's doing tonight. We're glad to hear from you. And so many of you we want to thank who are taking advantage of the special gift offer that we're offering tonight. If you can step up your giving to $75, we'll be glad to send along 1 DVD celebrating Our Town Everett, and it's the great program that you're watching now, plus some additional bonus material. If you can step it up to $120, we'll be glad to send along 2 DVDs, 1 for you, 1 for a friend, 1 for a family member, maybe pass it on to the children or grandchildren. We encourage you to take advantage of this. This is the one night where you can take advantage of the Our Town DVD. A couple more thank yous to pass along. We want to thank every member of the Everett community, all 1,800 and some of you, and the neighboring communities that have been supporting tonight. We want to thank Aaron and Jillian Harkleroad, who called in from Glenmore, Pennsylvania. They want to thank Kay Leach at the Pioneer Historical Society from Aaron and Gillian Harkleroad. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. We want to thank Peggy Roadman of Shellsburg. Peggy, thank you for calling in tonight. We want to thank Keith Four of Everett. Thank you, Keith, for your call of support for your local public television station, WPSU. And we are just having a great time with Everett here tonight, and we are tossing it over to Carly, who was in Everett recently for all the production of this great program.
Thanks, Kevin. It was a pleasure to work with the Everett community in this 2015 Our Town Everett program. 1-800-245-9779 is the number that you need to call to show your support for the Our Town Everett program. A $75 contribution will bring you 1 copy of the Our Town Everett DVD, and a contribution of $120 will bring you 2 copies of the Our Town Everett DVD. I want to acknowledge Jordan Mills, who shouted out on Twitter from the Everett Junior High baseball team, sporting the red and white with pride. There's pride here in the studio from Everett, so we want to hear from you, whether it's online, Facebook, or your call of support. 1-800-245-9779 is the number that you need to call. Everyone is here loud and proud in the studios waiting to take your call. 1-800-245-9779. Pat?
and getting a little louder and just a shade prouder by the moment. And that's a good thing. We're very happy to have everybody here with us tonight. Happy that you've joined us for this broadcast and that you're participating in the 81st of the Our Town series, Our Town Everett. Some folks to thank. Thomas and Melinda Deremer, I'm not sure which, but it says from Tom and Melinda in memory of Uncle Bill Deremer, who owned and operated Everett Jewelers for many years. So a nice little local shout out there. Thank you very much. A big shout out from Roger and Shelley Layton in memory of Carrie Layton, class of 87. Thank you very much. Very generous and a lovely sentiment. We heard from, here's someone back in the right. I don't think they're probably in second, maybe third place at this point. Jennifer Goodsights from Alpharetta, Georgia, who says, Jennifer Wilt Goodsight, shout out to family in Breezewood and class of 1983 from Everett. So we're getting there now. You know, we only have probably, 46 more states to go. Let's ring them all up. Everybody get to those phones right now. How many countries? Many. We have a lot of countries to go yet. 1-800-245-9779. Make a gift of $75. We will be delighted to send you a DVD copy of the show tonight with some bonus footage as well. A gift of $120, and we will send you 2 DVDs, a copy of tonight's show. And again, we are trying to, because we are those kind of people, we are trying to trounce your crosstown rival for phone calls. We have a 150 goal. We have not heard from 150 people yet, but when we do, you will be victorious. You will be monsters, legends in your own minds. 1-800-245-9779. Oh, and one other thing. We had a big thank you out to Mr. and Mrs. Monty Steed of Everett, who say there is no place like South Street, and who are we to argue with that? Thank you for your call at 1-800-245-9779. Kevin, over to you.
There is no place like South Street, and there's no place like Everett. What a great town, and we are celebrating it tonight. Pat just gave us a little update on the rivalry there. We are hearing that we are just a call or two, that might be one of them, away from 100, so we're glad to hear that, Everett. We still have a goal of 50 more, so if we can light this panel up 5 to 6 more times, we will be right there on our goal, and we will know how much you support great programming, great wonderful programming like Our Town Everett. Any gift in any amount lets us know that you care about this program, care about your great community. But if you can give a gift at $75, we'll be glad to send along a DVD as a thank you to you. The program, Our Town Everett, that you're watching tonight, plus some additional material. If you can step up your giving to $120, we'll send along 2 copies. Keep one for yourself, give one to a friend, give one to a family member, pass them on to your children or grandchildren. We encourage you to do that. This is the only time you can take advantage of those Our Town Everett DVDs, so you're going to want to do that. 1-800-245-9779 is the number to call. Hearing from a lot of you, very much appreciating it. And if you, we have some more thank yous that we want to read. We want to thank Jeff and Lori Ryder of Everett, Pennsylvania for calling in. Jeff and Lori, thank you. We want to thank David Wallace of Booker Wallace Insurance for calling in their pledge of support, also of Everett. Yes, glad to hear from you. We want to thank Kenny and Jane May of Breezewood, Pennsylvania for calling in. And we want to thank Yvette Klingerman, Lansing Yvette Klingerman of Clearville, Pennsylvania for calling in. So a lot of love from Everett, from Bedford, from Breezewood, from Clearville. Very glad to hear you. And I'm going to encourage you one more time. This is a great opportunity to take advantage of those DVDs. They are thank you gifts that we pass along. It's our way of saying thank you for your pledge of support, like so many of those folks that we've heard from tonight. A gift of $75 will get you Our Town Everett on DVD. There's some bonus material on there that you can enjoy. You can step up your giving to $120. Our Town Everett will send along 2 DVDs to you, one for a family member, one for a friend, one for a neighbor, someone who didn't get to enjoy the program tonight. But call them up, make sure they catch the end of this, because there's still some great stories coming on. Carly Wright, you produced some of those, right?
You know what? We have some great stories coming up. We've heard so many great stories, but that's not it. Everett has so much to offer, and they had so much to share. Just stay with us. You're going to be hearing from the hospital, the Everett Grace brother, Everett Door. These are stories that are happening in your community, and your community wanted to share those with you on your local PBS station. 1-800-245-9779. I think we have some empty phones open back there, so make your call of support $75 call-in contribution will get you 1 copy of the Our Town Everett DVD. And for a $120 contribution, you will be thanked with 2 DVDs of the Our Town Everett program. But if you can't make a $75 or $120 contribution, any contribution will do to show your support for the Our Town Everett program. I want to say thank you. I have a special thanks from Jim Merkel. Hashtag if not me, then who will? Hashtag I will. For all the wonderful students, staff, past and present of the Everett Area High School. Thank you so much. You know, it's been great. The Everett Area High School welcomed us into their school to hold the community meeting, and they played a great role in making this project happen. 1-800-245-9779. But I want to say thank you to a few more contributors. Renee Nicholson from the Everett Flower Shop, thank you for calling in with your pledge of support. We're getting lots of clapping. Betty Kuntz, thank you from Hopewell, Pennsylvania. Mason Teresa 4 from Everett. Stephen 4 from Everett, thank you for calling in with your contribution of support. 1-800-245-9779 is the number that you need to call if you want to hear your name thanked on WPSU. Pat?
Hey, some more thank yous. Big shout out from Nathan and Paula Barkman of Breezewood. A shout out to the Everett High School classes of 77 and 82. Thank you so much. We had a note here from, oh, this is so nice. Marty Housel of Everett, dedicated to her 2 daughters who are Everett alumni, Mary Jane in 98 and Constance in 2003. Thank you so very much. A reminder that if you call now at 1-800-245-9779 or go online to WPSU.org, which may be you might find it helpful because the phones are a little busy right now, so you might find it easier to get through online at WPSU.org. Make a gift of $75. We will thank you with a copy of tonight's show. A gift of $120. We can thank you with 2 copies of tonight's show. All that's required is that you call and support this very, very fine program and your town, Everett, 1-800-245-9779. Hey, here's a message I love from Noah and Sarah Schaefer, and I guess maybe Melissa Schaefer called in on their behalf saying, Grandma Barb Miller rocks, which is exactly what Carly told me just a little bit ago. She said, that Barb Miller is the greatest. I just wanted to bring her home with me. So, Barb, don't go near Carly. It's not safe. And the grandmother didn't get to bring it home. Bob Malott of Everett, graduate of the class of 48. Thank you so much for your gift of support. Hey, have we heard from you and your class yet? Or you want to challenge your classmates? Maybe you want to thank somebody? Now's the time to do it. Make that call at 1-800-245-9779. Or again, online at WPSU.org. Kevin.
Hey, so great news, Everett. We've reached 110 phone calls, so we've 40 more to go. You guys are just lighting these phones up back here. Keep doing it. It looks like we have 2 phones open right now, 2 phones, but if you happen to get a busy signal, just wait 30 seconds, and they recycle back through in about that amount of time. I know many of you are taking advantage of the great thank you incentives. If you can make a gift of $75 to your local public television station, WPSU, we'll be glad to send along Our Town Everett, the program you're enjoying tonight, plus some additional material. But if you can step up, you're giving just a little bit more to $120, we'll send along 2 copies of Our Town Everett, 1 for you to keep, 1 to pass along to a family member or friend, or maybe you want to give them both away so that they can enjoy Our Town Everett for many years to come. You know, the Our Town series has been around since 1996, and WPSU has been around for 50 years. We're celebrating our golden anniversary this year, so we're very proud of both our local public television station, your local public television station, and our Town series, and the great community of Everett, one of the communities that has been there to support us many times. In fact, this is our 2nd in the Everett Our Town series, so we always feel welcome in your community, and we appreciate it. You're making us feel very welcome tonight. We have some challenges that are passed along. Jake Hoover of Bedford called in. He challenges former South Penn Speedway drivers and owners to call in and support Our Town Everett tonight, so we encourage you to do that. Thanks, Jake, for calling in, and thank you for your support. We thank Lauren and Joanne Way. They would like to recognize their children and all the graduates of Everett Area High School, Warriors out there. I was a Warrior too when I was in school. I went to Indian Valley over by Lewistown, Pennsylvania. So I love that you guys are Warriors. I think it's awesome. We want to thank Donald Sponsler for his parents. He called in and Donald and Donna Sponsler, who were graduates, also graduates from Everett. So hearing a lot of love from the Warriors tonight. Carly.
We're hearing a lot of love from the Warriors tonight because many of the people that have stepped up to volunteer in the Our Town program also stepped up to volunteer in the Our Town program the last time that we visited Everett, which was in 2007. So it's been a while, but some of the stories have changed. There's new stories, new light on the town. And it's your friends and neighbors that came out to share those stories with you. 1-800-245-9779 is the number that you need to call to say thank you for your friends and neighbors' contributions and their support to make this program happen. For a $75 contribution, that'll bring you home one copy of Our Town Everett's DVD. And for a $120 contribution, that'll give you 2 copies of the DVD as a thank you gift, a thank you for your support, for supporting public television and the local programming that you only find here on your PBS station, WPSU. Some people that I want to thank, Della Clark from Everett, in memory of Herbie Clark and the class of 57. Thank you so much for your contribution of support. Richard E. Stump. This is Jennifer Stump Howard's uncle. Thank you for calling. He's calling to support his niece and her participation and contribution to the Our Town Everett program. Bruce and Roxanne Maxwell. We also want to thank Caitlin, Nathaniel, and Kevin Maxwell. Thank you so much for supporting programming like the Our Town series that you'll only find here on WPSU. 1-800-245-9779 is the number that you need to call, or you can make your contribution online, WPSU.org, or WPSU.org. Pat?
That's right, WPSU.org. Thank you. Again, to those of you who've already called, that's great. A few people to thank very quickly. Gary and Darlene Lashley of Bedford, thank you so much for your call. We appreciate that very much. Dwayne Hess of Everett, Pennsylvania, thank you so much for your call. Very grateful for that. Thomas, Sharon, Erica, and Corey, the Waltman family of Everett, Pennsylvania, thank you so much for calling tonight and making your gift. Now, I am told that on a goal of 150, we are now at 121 calls. People, I have to tell you, I've been in this business a long time. Those last 30 calls, that's where your champions are found. Those are the people who dig deep. Those are the people who don't stop. Those are the people who know that winners go the whole way to the end. They can see it on the horizon. They're going to reach out, and they are going to take it by calling 1-800-245-9779 or by going online to WPSU.org. Come on, we're this close. We're this close. You can do it, Everett. 1-800-245-9779. Kevin.
One might call those champions Warriors, right? One might call them Warriors, so we look forward to hearing from you. We have about 2 minutes before we head back to the program, so we have a chance to get about 30 calls in there. We need to hear those phones ringing. 1-800-245-9779. If you can make a pledge at an amount of $75, we'll be glad to send you this great thank you gift, Our Town Everett, the program you're enjoying tonight. If you can step up your giving to $120, we'll be glad to send along 2 DVDs of Our Town Everett. And we want to be the first to thank many of you who have called in pledges of support tonight. We're hearing a lot from Our Town Everett. You guys are a great supporter of your local public television station. WPSU now celebrating its 50th year. And we have some thank yous to pass along. We want to thank Dennis and Mona Hess of Breezewood, Pennsylvania. Hess's Alternative Home Heating. Both graduates of Everett High School, true Warriors, and we're waiting to hear from a few of those Warriors back here. We want to thank Robin and Ken of Everett. You know who you are. We want to thank Terry Waltman, Bill Terry and Mallory Waltman, who called in to support their local public television station, WPSU. We want to thank Patrick and Robin of Bedford, Pennsylvania. You know who you are. We want to thank Jane Hood of Everett, Pennsylvania, also calling in to support their local public television station, WPSU. We want to thank John Ingram, who called in honor of the England family of Everett. And we want to thank Laura and Mike Jackson of Everett, Pennsylvania. Laura and Mike are longtime residents of Everett area, wanted to support their town. Mike retired from teaching at Everett Elementary 15 years ago and is thoroughly enjoying retirement. We are headed back to the program, and we look forward to hearing from you throughout the break. Write that number down, 1-800-245-9779, or log on to WPSU.org.
You can also make your contribution at WPSU.org. Click on Donate at the top of the page. It's always available and easy to use. Thanks.
I'm Karen Ash, and I'm here today to talk to you about the Basket Weavers Guild of Bedford County. The Guild was formed in 2006. Currently, we have 30 full-time members. We have our classes. We also have a retreat every year in October, the third weekend, and we get people from all over the country as well as well-known famous instructors to come in, and we also have picnics in the area where it's open to the public to come in to learn to weave. It's a very welcoming group. The people that go to a lot of the different retreats in North Carolina, West Virginia, Indiana always say they like coming to Bedford because the people are so friendly in Everett. We've tried to weave a lot of different types of baskets. We do rib baskets, we do splint baskets. There's just so many forms. There's functional baskets, and then there's those baskets that are just, I call them a work of art. To me, they're art. We make and deliver baskets for Your Safe Haven. That's a local charity that we support. We make sure that all the baskets are filled with toiletries and things that they need. They give us a list of what's needed at the shelter. But we enjoy getting together. It becomes very social. We'd like to see anyone come out and join us. It's open to everyone. We are like a little family in the small towns. If there's a tragedy or something, we're right there. It's a very supportive group.
Hi, I'm Sue Cairo, and I'll be talking about UPMC Bedford Memorial Hospital. Two hospitals merged. We had Dr. Sipes and Dr. Timmons, and they merged into one hospital back in 1951, and it's halfway between Everett and Bedford. It was named Bedford Memorial Hospital in honor of our military personnel from the county. And it was rededicated in 1991, and there is a marker in the center drive. In 1998, it became a part of the University of Pittsburgh Hospital Group, thus the name UPMC. We are very fortunate to have Bedford Memorial Hospital here. It's close by, it serves a lot of communities. We've got a great group of doctors and nurses, and it's a feeling of comfort to go there when you're sick or have an injury and be treated by people you know, people from the community. Our small little hospital has received many awards over the years. In fact, it was named in the top 100 hospitals in the country. The hospital auxiliary raises a lot of money to buy equipment for the hospital. We just had our semi-annual used book sale. Made a lot of money. It's a lot of hard work. But again, volunteers and the hospital auxiliary. The snack bar is run by mostly volunteers of the hospital auxiliary. They've raised a lot of money over the years. It's run 6 days a week. The food is delish and the prices are right. People go there who aren't even in the hospital. For our area, sparsely populated, not many communities like ours are lucky enough to have a hospital like UPMC Bedford Memorial. I just love it here. I like the peace and quiet. I like that Everett only has 2 red lights. I love it that everybody knows everybody else. I went in the store one time, I went in the grocery store, forgot my wallet. She had checked me out and everything. And the girl says, "Oh, that's okay, Sue. I'll just put it on my tab and you can pay me when you want to." Do they do that in the big city? No.
I'm Dan Kuntz, and I'm chairman of the Bedford County Regional Education Foundation, and today I'd like to talk about its role in supporting the college in Everett. About 25 years ago, the Education Foundation was created to support the Allegheny Community College campus in Everett. For many, many years, a very small portion of students in this region went on to higher education, and the primary reason was access. So this group worked very hard to bring a college to the Bedford County area, and the foundation was created in order to support that financially. We've been involved in creating and funding scholarships. We've worked with state legislators in order to procure tuition assistance for students, as well as we've been involved in having fundraisers that provide the money necessary to update equipment, update the facility, and keep things in a current status. During the 25 years that the foundation has been in existence, we've kept track of how much money we've been able to obtain and distribute to students. And this year we've surpassed the $1 million benchmark. We also provide input to the college. It's very important that for a college to be successful in an area is that they continue to provide programs of study that are of interest to those students, and that they would be able to get jobs in those areas. So we're trying very hard to provide that input to the college on a regular basis. It's important to me that, we are providing the students of this region with a really high quality experience. I feel that that's really a gateway to a lot of young people being able to obtain their dreams.
My name's Lemoyne Clark. I live in Everett, Pennsylvania. I'm here to talk about how the Everett Grace Brethren Church came into existence in Everett, Pennsylvania. Around 1947, a group of laymen from the Grace Brethren Fellowship of the Blair and Bedford Association decided they needed a fundamental work in the Bedford area. And they found an old Episcopal church in Everett that wasn't used anymore. They decided they needed a permanent location. They found an old Presbyterian church on Main Street that had been let run down. A hardware store in town loaned them stoves for heat for that winter. In 1951, the Everett Grace Brethren Church officially became a church, and their motto then and still is, the Bible, the whole Bible, and nothing but the Bible. Easter Sunday 1952 is the first that they held services in the rejuvenated church. They continued there until about 1963. During this time, Pastor Lingenfelder came down with a bad cold. He had to go to see the doctor, which, by the way, had his office in his hospital next door to the church. The pastor mentioned that they needed more room and was going to build an annex. The doctor told him that he was going to sell his building. In 1955, the Everett Grace Brethren Church bought the old Sipes Hospital and renovated it to handle the Sunday school classrooms and the parsonage. In 1963, they decided to demolish the old Presbyterian church and rebuild the sanctuary and connect it to the annex. In 1965, they dedicated the new building. They held their services in the basement of the new part, which is now the Fellowship Hall. And about a month later, they held services in the sanctuary and had their dedication service there. I think we will continue to grow. We'll welcome anybody and everybody. Everybody greets you with a smile and a handshake, no matter who you are. We're just a bunch of country folks that enjoy getting together and fellowship. We have certain people who everybody calls on when they have problems, and when they have a problem, everybody is there to help. We're a family.
Hi, my name is Susan Four, and I work at Everett Door Factory in Everett, PA, and I've been there for almost 32 years. In Everett Door, we make wooden garage doors. We still make the old-fashioned traditional door, which is a 4-panel, 4-section. We also make what's called a semi-custom door, which is, we can make it out of mahogany, we can make it out of western red cedar, we can make it out of just the plain exterior, anything that the customer likes, or we can go to a high-end door, which is a little bit heavier and it takes a lot more workmanship. Everything at the door factory is made by hand. We are very proficient in what we do. The door factory was actually built in 1965. A gentleman by the name of Mr. Brennan came from the Philadelphia area. He decided that this would be a good place for a door factory. He had plenty of talented people to work out there, and some of our employees have actually been there for over 40 years. One of the NFL team owners has 3 of our doors. We have a famous wrestler that has one of our doors. A famous singer from the 70s has our doors. So we're very proud of that. We're not allowed to tell who they are, but right now there are about 16 of us, and they put out about 25 to 30, especially the specialty doors, a week. So that's pretty good for that amount of people. I mostly do a lot of customer service. When the customers call, I talk to them and I find out a little bit about them. And then the next time they call, I can say, well, how's so-and-so, or what happened here, or how did that work? I like to talk to people. We've had a lot of good people that work there. Some of the older guys that have been there for 40 years or more, they're retiring, and we're bringing in younger people, and they take pride in their work, just as the older guys take pride in theirs. We're doing very well right now, and I think it has big things in store.
Hi, I'm Don Sylvester, and I'm here to talk about the Everett Lions Club. The Everett Lions have been in Everett for 75 years. We just celebrated our anniversary, and we are one of the few service organizations still left in the Everett community. Our primary interest is helping visually handicapped people. And we do that through helping those who need assistance in purchasing eyeglasses. In order to do that, and in order to do other things that we've done in the community over the 75 years, currently we conduct 3 fundraisers a year. We run a pancake breakfast in March and November, and then we participate with a food booth at the Bedford County Fair for the week of the fair. That generates the income that we need in order to support our projects throughout the rest of the year. In the last 75 years, the Everett Lions Club has been fortunate enough to give almost $1 million to those projects that we feel are important for our local community, or regionally or worldwide in site research. Some of the local things that we have done, we several years ago restored the Indian Seats, which is a historic site here in Everett. We've donated considerable funds not only to Tenley Park for their projects, but to the Sportsman's Club. For the past 20 plus years, we have also partnered with the school district, and we have provided 2 scholarships annually for graduating seniors for community service. The Everett Lions currently have 32 members. The membership is open to both females and males. And we currently have been fortunate enough to gain several new members in the past year, and we look to continue to gain additional membership as we move forward. I came to work in Everett in 1970. We moved here in 1974, and we've been here ever since. We raised 4 children in Everett. They all graduated from Everett Area School, and we like to think they've been pretty successful. And so we just enjoy a small town. We enjoy the friendliness of a small town. We enjoy the camaraderie of being able to know the people walking down the street, and they say hi and we say hi, and it's just a great community to live in.
And that's Our Town Everett, a look at the Bedford County community through the eyes of its residents. Support for Our Town Everett comes from Everett Cash Mutual Insurance Company, a committed insurance company serving the agricultural community for over 100 years. Homewood at Springhouse Estates in Everett, a retirement community for active adults, offering cottage or apartment living, an indoor saltwater pool and spa, chef-prepared meals, and an experienced staff committed to providing a maintenance-free lifestyle. BC Stone Incorporated, custom fabrication of marble and granite for residential and commercial customers. bcstone.com. And from viewers like you, thank you.
Town Everett, a look at the Everett community from the eyes of its residents. We are so excited that you've joined us tonight for the world broadcast premiere of Our Town Everett. There you're seeing all the names of the volunteers who came out. They went out on the streets of Everett with their video cameras and their still cameras and brought back some beautiful photos and some great video footage to help share stories about your hometown. And then they sat down on camera and told the stories about Everett. And that is certainly something that is no small feat. I mean, a lot of people get really camera shy, but your town is so important to these folks that they stepped up and they wanted to share these stories. And now we're asking you to be a part of it right now by calling the number on your screen and showing your support for Our Town Everett. It's been such a pleasure to work with everyone in Everett, and now we're looking for you to be a part of it right now. Hi, I'm Whitney Sheridan, one of the producers of Our Town Everett, along with my co-producer Carly Greiner, and we are so excited by the response that we've seen from Everett, but there is still time for more of a response to show your pride in Everett right now. 1-800-245-9779 is the number to call. This is our last break of Everett Night here on WPSU, and I want to remind you that if you make a $75 contribution, you can get a copy of Our Town Everett on DVD. Your $120 contribution will send you 2 DVDs, and there are a couple bonus features on those. But the important thing is to step up and show how much you care about your hometown and the fact that your local public television station is the only place that brings you local stories like these, local stories from your hometown. Give us a call right now. We only have a few minutes left in Everett Night here on WPSU. 1-800-245-9779. And I think Kevin might have some folks to thank.
Sure do. We want to thank you, Everett, for your pledge of support to your local public television station, WPSU. We want to thank Megan Rhodes, who called in, and she's congratulating the soon-to-be Mr. and Mrs. Dayton Dunkel on May 30th. Yeah, so congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. soon-to-be Dayton Dunkel, and they're of Everett, Pennsylvania. Ella Bussard called in honor of her sons Rondi, 1964 graduate, and Randy, 1970 graduate of Everett High School. True Warriors, I am sure. We want to thank Michelle Marshall of Everett, who called in honor of the class of 2002 and Marshall Sanitation Service. Thank you, Michelle, for calling in. We want to thank Elizabeth Grubb Libby, known as nickname Libby, Elizabeth Grubb. She's mom of class of 1967, and then all graduates of Everett High School, including son John, class of 1992, daughter Jennifer, class of 2001, and daughter Juliana, class of 2002. 1992 is my year, so that's a good one. We want to thank Brenda, Kendra, Mackenzie Taylor, and Lucas LaSalle for calling in their pledge of support to their local public television station, your local public television station, WPSU. And we want to thank, once more, I'll just say congratulations to the soon-to-be Mr. and Mrs. Dayton Dunkel. 1-800-245-9779 is the number to call. I think we were at 135 calls last time we checked, so we got 15 more to get in. So honestly, if we can have these phones ring through twice, we'll be at that magic goal or that magic number of 150. 1-800-245-9779 is the number to call to say, I support great local programming like Our Town Everett that I'm enjoying tonight. And your gift not only supports Our Town Everett, it creates seed money that continues to produce additional Our Towns for all the great communities across central Pennsylvania. You know, it's your gift that continues this great tradition that we have here at WPSU. Started in 1996. We've done 81 of these. Everett has come around for a second time, and there's a lot of great new stories and great new traditions in Everett. And if you can make a pledge in the amount of $75, we'll be glad to pass along a DVD of Our Town Everett, so you can enjoy this program for many years to come. Or if you can step up your giving to $120, we'll send along 2 Our Town Everetts, one for a friend or family member, or maybe you want to give them both away so that they can enjoy the program as you have tonight. You can only take advantage of this tonight during Our Town Everett. The great folks of Our Town of Everett are here taking your calls tonight. It's been a great celebration here in the studio, and I'm going to toss it on over to Carly. correct? Yes, Carly.
Yes, thank you. The number that you need to call is 1-800-245-9779. You saw that list of credits. It takes a whole community to make a program like the Our Town Everett program. And there's so many people involved that make this production possible. And it's support from viewers like you that help. So I want to get some thank yous read. Richard Brayler, thank you for calling from Everett. Marie Northcraft from, what is that, Artemis, Pennsylvania? I've never even heard of that. But thank you for calling in. Kara Mills from Everett, Pennsylvania. Jeff, the class of 1984. Kara's the class of 1986. And Jordan's the class of 2011. Thank you for calling in and making your contribution of support. John Mobus, the Mobus family, John, Dina, Dana, and Dylan, thank you for calling in and supporting the program, Our Town Everett. I also want to say a special thanks to Shirley Weaver. In memory of Bob, thank you, Shirley, and thank you for your support. Shirley Weaver is a member in the Basket Guild, and she took part in the Our Town Everett program. Ronald Kuntz from Ron and Nancy Kuntz from the Everett class of 59. So we're getting lots of calls from Everett alumni, and it's great to hear from you. And we want to hear from you. 1-800-245-9779 is the number that you need to call to show your support for WPSU and the Our Town program. $75 contribution will bring you home one DVD of the Our Town Everett as a thank you gift. And if you can up your pledge of support to $120, we'd love to send you home with 2 DVD copies of the Our Town Everett. I have some more thank yous to read. Tracy Pittman, Trevor and Tracy Pittman, and our children, Derek Ishlin and Ellie Pittman, classes of 86, 90, 2012, and 26. Whitney?
I am here with a very special guest. We have Sue Cairo, who is one of the Our Town Everett volunteers.
Hi, everybody.
You may have been seeing Sue, who was on phone number 1 all evening, very enthusiastically taking phone calls.
Ear is red, man.
I might add.
It's on fire.
So I wanted to ask you what this experience was like for you.
I loved it. I learned things about Everett that I didn't know about. And, you know, when you've lived in a town a lot of years, you know, it's not easy to learn new things, but I have, and I loved it.
And, you know, something that I noticed, you know, immediately from the time Carly and I came into Everett was, you know, all of these volunteers who came together, and what we're seeing tonight with all of the amount of phone calls, the amazing sense of pride.
Ain't they good people?
They are great people.
They are good people. I love them. I love Everett.
And it really shows in this program that you were a part of, and all of these people who are here tonight were a part of, who put all of this time and energy into making this show happen, and when it's been reflected by the phone calls tonight.
I've talked to so many nice people from Everett and surrounding areas. We even got some Bedford and Breezewood people in there. But I want to thank you guys for doing this. You did a beautiful job. Beautiful job. Thank you so much.
Well, and what do we need now? What do we need happen?
Money. Just call. 11 calls and we meet the goal.
That's right.
I'm calling some people.
That's right.
Well, I'm going to call.
It's been truly a pleasure to work with everyone in Everett, and we look forward to the next Our Town Everett.
Wonderful. Come back anytime. Thank you.
And we'll toss it over to Kevin.
11 calls.
All
we
right,
have 9
thanks.
folks back here. Let's hear it. 1-800-245-9779 is the number to call. Don't leave your fellow Everettites kind of hanging here. 1-800-245-9779 is the number to call. And as an incentive, we have a DVD of tonight's program, Our Town Everett, for a gift of $75. If you can step up your gift of just a bit more to $120, we'll be glad to send along 2 copies of Our Town Everett as a thank Thank
I
you.
recognize the name.
1-800-245-9779 is the number to call, or you can log on to WPSU.org. It is a safe, secure site. We do have some thank yous to pass along. We want to thank Shirley Mills of Loysburg. She was born and raised in Everett. She lives in Loysburg. She's also calling in memory of Margarita Leonard, who was her grandmother and worked at the hospital. So thank you very much, Shirley Mills, for calling in. We want a lot of support here in Everett tonight. We want to thank Stacy Klingerman. Stacy and Darren Klingerman, both graduates of Everett Area High School, true warriors, as we've been talking about tonight. We want to thank Phil Cummings. There's one of those 11 calls. Thank you very much. We want to thank Phil Cummings, the Gary Commander dedication Phil wanted to mention. So thank you, Phil, for calling in your support of Everett, Pennsylvania tonight. We want to thank Violet Pittman of Clearville, who called in memory of Richard Pittman, and a graduate of Everett, and we were glad to hear from them tonight. There's 2 of those calls, 9 more. Light these phones up one more time, and we'll be there. 1-800-245-9779 is the number to call, and we're keeping you busy tonight, right? We appreciate Everett tonight, right, Carly?
We do appreciate Everett, and we'd appreciate 9 more calls from you and to support this programming, your community. 1-800-245-9779 is the number that you need to call to show your support. WPSU.org if you want to go online and make a contribution. Like Renee Weaver, she decided to go online and make her contribution and her pledge of support as a donation in memory of her dad, Robert Bob Weaver. So thank you so much for your contribution. Charles and Janet LaSalle calling from Everett. We want to thank you here from the WPSU studios. The Everett Volunteers, production volunteers are behind me, and they're waiting to take your calls. 1-800-245-9779. I believe we just need 9 more to reach our goal of the evening of 150 calls, and we want to make that happen. 1-800-245-9779 is the number that you need to call. And for a contribution of $75, that'll bring you home 1 copy of the program that you saw tonight, the Our Town Everett DVD. And if you can up your contribution to $120, that'll bring you home 2 DVDs of the Our Town Everett program. And maybe one for you. You want to send to your friend, maybe a sister, brother that moved out of the area that couldn't be a part of the program but love Everett, love the stories of Everett, and want to take part in their hometown. 1-800-245-9779 is the number that you need to call. Whitney?
Okay, so we have less than 6 calls to go to meet that goal of 150 calls in support of Our Town Everett here on WPSU, and less than 5 minutes to go in Everett Night here on your local public TV station. We're looking for your call right now, 1-800-245-9779. Thanks to Kelly and Chelsea Cornell from Clearville for being a part of Our Town Everett. And Chelsea did a story, so thank you so much for being a part of tonight's broadcast and for being a part of the show. Also, Marl and Jeannie Ritchie from Everett, thank you so much. And Stephen, Wendy, Rachel, and Allie Daly from Everett, to the Daly family, thank you so much for being a part of tonight's show. 1-800-245-9779. We've got a few more phones ringing. I think we're inching towards that goal. We can get there with your support. Remember, a $75 contribution gets you a copy of Our Town Everett on DVD, a $120 contribution, 2 of those DVDs, and we only have minutes left in Our Town Everett Night here on WPSU. And I want to thank Nicole Abbott from Everett in memory of her brother Mitchell, class of 79. What a great honor. Also, we want to thank Christy Rhodes of Breezewood, Megan and Dayton Duffel. Their wedding was May 30th. Thank you so much for your support, and congratulations. We just have a couple minutes left, and we also want to thank Amanda and Andy Fate from Everett. They say this is, I think it's Pinky Salon and Fights Remodeling. They all three attend Everett Elementary, all three kids, Maggie, Molly, and Matt. Thank you so much for that support. 1-800-245-9779. We're looking for your contribution right now, and we only have minutes left. Right, Kevin?
That's right. You know what impressed me about Everett when I was there? Well, first of all, the great food at the Union Hotel. Let me tell you, that lasagna, that was incredible. But it also, the strong history and the wonderful connections. What a great town. What a great, beautiful Main Street that you have. We need 2 more calls. 2 more calls. The folks of Everett are here taking your calls tonight in support of your local public television station, WPSU. If you can make a pledge of $75, we'll be glad to send along a thank you gift, a DVD of Our Town Everett that you're enjoying here on your local public television station, WPSU tonight. If you can step up your giving to $120, we'll be glad to send along 2 Our Town Everetts. They have additional bonus material on there that you want to check out. You may want to give those to a family or a friend, family member or a friend, or keep one for yourself. Give them both away so they can enjoy this. This is the one time to take advantage of that opportunity. We're looking for 2 more calls. That might be 1 more. And I've been very impressed with the Warriors motto, if not, who will? And so who will be that last call? Won't it be you? We look forward to hearing from you tonight to say, I support great local program. As I was mentioning, it's the history of our town that... call. 1 more call. Listen to that Warrior chant there. That's awesome. That's awesome. Our Town Everett. Yeah, Our Town Everett. We're going to join Whitney and Carly right now as we're wrapping up. Yep.
1-800-245-9779 is the number that you need to call to be that last caller and for the Our Town Everett program.
Real quick, we want to thank Julie Price from Clearville, the sweet and a little Olivia Walkins around.
Who's been that, Olivia? Yes.
Olivia's been helping us right here. That's her aunt.
That's her aunt.
Also, Carol Scott in memory of Drusilla Byers-Saylor and Jenna Risbin. But thank you, everyone in Everett who stepped up to be a part of Our Town Everett Night, and all of the volunteer videographers and storytellers. It's been a great night, guys.
Thanks so much for your support.
Yeah, one more thank you, Shelly Beagle. Thank you, Shelly.
Thanks, Everett.
Yeah.
You can also make your contribution at WPSU.org. Click on Donate at the top of the page. It's always available and easy to use. Thanks.